I told you looks don't matter to me. The most important thing for love is personality. We had a deep connection intellectually. I was pumped for our first date. Got there early, I couldn't wait. But you didn't prepare me for the fact my Tinder date was fat.
G'day, I'm DP from down in the south. Got a habit that just slips out of my mouth. Not talking about swearing or a Vegemite binge. It's much colder and the waddle's on a hinge. Penguin sandwich all day long. Flapper flapping where it don't belong. I'm chopping up beaks and a feathery hue. Don't ask me why, it's just what I do. Try to Barbie, try to snag, but they left my taste buds feeling kinda sad. Chicken and beef weren't tickling the spot. Then I saw that penguin just looking so hot. Try to Barbie, try to snag, but they left my taste buds feeling kinda sad. Chicken and beef weren't tickling the spot. Then I saw that penguin just looking so hot. Penguin sandwich all day long. Flapper flapping where it don't belong. I'm chowing on beaks and a feathery hue. Don't ask me why, it's just what I do.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We're going to be
Try to cranny to scream. The scientists frown, saying DP's behavior is bringing him down. But I tells them straight, with a wink and a grin, penguin sandwich is the best. Where do I begin?
It's a fucking phone. God damn it.
I've tried them grilled, I've tried them fried. Penguin smoothies, you bet I've tried. With a little bit of chili to sharpen the taste, then slap it on a sandwich, that's the best. Penguin sandwich all day long. Flapper flapping where it don't belong. I'm chowing on beaks and a feathery hue. Don't ask me why, it's just what I do. So next time you're visiting, come on down, mate. We'll have a penguin sandwich right off the plate. Just don't tell their families or the eco-polices, cause DP's penguin feast never ceases. Yeah, never ceases. Hey, you think I'll eat that one? I want to spank it.
That's right, I'm fucking early, in your faces. I'm making up the deficit. Hi everybody. Yeah, I can't tell time. Who the hell cares? I didn't want to wait anymore, so you can all deal with it. How the hell is everybody going? We got Foxworth in the chat, we got Real Singers, we got Divers, we got Tori Hanzo, we got Emma in the chat, we got Big Fish, we've got a Charles Arnold who may or may not be up at 2 a.m. Who knows? Stop the Stupidity was there. He said he couldn't wait. You had to, but you had to wait less because clocks is hard. Howdy, peeps. It's your old mate, DP. Did you hear the song I played at the start? That song is called First Date. I wrote it. That's me singing badly and playing guitar on that particular track. One day I'll record it properly, but it's just something I was messing around with while I was at Flurio Folk Festival last year. My lovely lady, who is gorgeous, by the way, she hates that song. She doesn't like it. But it made me giggle when I wrote it. So that was that. I was sitting on a camp chair on an AFL football field where everyone was camping. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people, and had the swag set up and another tent that the swag was in for a bit of privacy. It was stinking hot. I had a skinful, an absolute skinful of beer. Pulled out the guitar, was noodling around, feeling a little inspired after seeing the Tuck Shop ladies play and having a jolly old time. And I wrote that thing. It was great. I know, Emma, it's weird. I'm scared too. So there's that. And I'm trying something out today. We'll get into like proper intros and everything in a minute. But I've got the good old stream driving YouTube thing over on the other PC instead of this one to see if it makes a bit of a difference to performance and stuff like that. So we're trying some shit out. So there you go. Things break. Now you know why. That's how that's going to work. We'll jump over to the chatting screen. But first, let's do an intro. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Stupid Stuff Sunday. This is going to be a regular feature here in the Debunkatorium. It's lovely to have you along. The aim is to turn this into sort of a semi-structured show. Full disclosure, I've only got like 2 or 3 bits figured out. The rest of it, we're just going to be farting around like we usually do. So that's going to be great. We'll go for a couple of hours, maybe a bit longer. I don't know. I got nothing else to do today. So we're just spinning our wheels. Let's jump over to the chatting screen so we can see everything that's going on. You'll notice just below here, there's a thing. Hydrogen Alpha Telescope for Austin Thompson. You may know him as the one and only Melodome. And he's awesome. He's a really good dude. We're trying to fundraise to buy him a telescope, Hydrogen Alpha Telescope, to stare at the sun without going blind, to do some awesome observations and hopefully flip a few more flatties. There's a segment. We'll be doing that on the show as we get news that another flat earther has escaped from the cult. We'll do Flip a Flatty. If you want to put together a short 15 to 30 second little ditty, little theme tune for Flip a Flatty, by all means, feel free. Because I can't be bothered. I've got a backlog of editing the size of your arm. I was hoping to have Juicebox King ready to kick off the stream today. I've got all the lyrics done. They're all synced up with the beat and everything else. Forgot to go and get all the B-roll that I needed and re-record the bits from some of the Juicebox King himself, King Nico's debates, where he's looking very confused and baffled, which is most of it. There's a wealth of footage. But also footage of him sipping on a juice box. Really important for Juicebox King. Forgot to do it. Started watching Wheel of Time on Amazon. Had a few episodes to catch up on. Had some lunch. So that's the thing. It's 4:08 p.m. here in the merry old land of Oz. Foxworth is right. Please don't forget to smash the like button. If your keyboard works by the end of this stream, you're doing it wrong. Just find that like button and smash the ever loving crap out of that motherfucker. Just abuse it. Hit that like button, the thumbs uppy thing, like that button owes you money. That's the message for today. I had a jolly old time sitting there. It wasn't too chatty, but I was listening along while editing as our beloved Mike from the Drunk Debunk Show, Mike over IP, and Andy's Game Room were playing some Schedule 1, which is always good times. Andy's character is hilarious. Every time that thing's on screen, I giggle. Tori, I made it worse by rocking up half an hour early because you're so confused when sometimes zones 30 minutes off. And then I just rock up half an hour earlier than scheduled. I shouldn't even schedule. I should just go live and you can all deal with it. But I'm trying to be nice. Also, I'm out of focus. There we go. So while we're talking about this thing, telescope thing, if you find yourself at all tempted during this stream or any subsequent streams over the next couple of weeks, and you're thinking, oh, I might drop a super chat and try to get some attention, or do one of the super sticker things that no one's ever used in the history of the world, and I don't know why YouTube still has it there. Or if you're thinking, I should give some Debunkerships, don't do that. Whatever the amount is, here's what you should do instead. Whatever you're thinking, whatever that might be, you're wrong. What you want to do is you want to go to this link that I'm going to drop in the chat for you all right about now. There's a link. That'll pop up in a second. You go to Better World, and it's fundraiser for the Hydrogen Alpha Telescope for Austin Thompson. It now has a trackaroony amount. Look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? We'll go full screen on that. Someone remind me to press the escape key when I want to get out of this. But there you go. $578 dues raised from just 13 people, which is epic. Thank you to everyone who's contributed so far. If you've got a few spare shekels, by all means, throw it at this awesome initiative to get the man himself, Melodome, a kick-ass telescope. If you don't have the spare shekels, that's totally fine. What you can do is go to the link I've dropped in the chat, go over here to the share button, see that, and you can share this campaign, just like it says there. You can do it by Facebook, Twix or Twixer, whatever the fuck we call it now, email, copy the link, paste it all over the internet. Just do it wherever. Send it, go to your work email and just like reply all to the last thing that came from your boss and put that link in there. No ill effects will occur as a result of doing so. You absolutely do not have my word on that, but that's what I recommend you do. I'm just going to exit full screen because the escape key isn't working to allow me to do that, which sucks. But if y'all could do that, that would be beautiful. Generally, Shady is in the chat. Cheers. I've got my DP juice, aka Bundaberg Diet Ginger Beer, which I highly recommend if you're not onto the nectar of the gods. Sort your life out. That's all I've got to say. Just don't dump beer on your keyboard like Mike. I mean, you can, because then you'll get a new one also like Mike. But yeah, it's probably not recommended. You're right. That's fine. I had a lovely weekend. Spent last couple of nights with my lady. We basically just lounged around on Friday night. Took it very easy. Nice long chill. Just snuggle up on the couch, which is nice. Watching Broadchurch, which I've never watched before, with David Tennant. Fantastic program. I can recommend that to you all. And then yesterday we went out, went on a little expedition in the Adelaide Hills, which are over that way, over there somewhere. And it was the Jupiter Fields, or the Jupiter Gold Fields. So back just over, or just under 100 years or so ago, a bit more than that actually. There's a bit of a gold rush up in the Adelaide Hills. You can go up there and still see all the old mine shafts and stuff. And there's a lovely little path, takes a couple of hours to get around. And we were checking that out. All the shafts are fenced off. Basically, I'm telling this story as an excuse to say the word shaft repeatedly and see what happens. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And poor Lily, the dog, poor Lily, was absolutely exhausted at the end of that. She has trouble breathing because of her smushed face at the best of times. But oh my goodness, she was so thirsty. And she found we passed a place that still has like a chimney or a flue from where they were like getting heat and stuff out of the shafts and shafts. And there was like a little pit at the bottom of it was dug in. So this tunnel sort of went from one of these flue things up to the main chimney. And Lily decided she was going to get in there because it was nice and cool and there was a bit of airflow, and refused to move for about 25 minutes. She was absolutely exhausted. That being said, didn't carry her the rest of the way. She's a dog. She's got 4 legs. So really, she would have been like a quarter tired, or as tired as we were. So yeah, it's fine. But no, it was really cool. It was quite hot. Quite hot. Luckily, I had the foresight to take a bottle of water. So nobody died. Big bucket of win. That's what I did. And lovely time was had by all. It doesn't sound wrong, Laurie. You've just got a dirty mind. I've been calling it DPGs for years. But granted, with the Zoo Crew having assembled, it's bound to take on a whole new meaning. And there's probably going to be 6 or 7 DPG songs going around in the next 30 minutes. Lord knows, there's a ton of songs going around about my balls. I haven't listened to any of them as yet, but I will get there. I do want to say a very special thank you to everybody involved. Emma, Michaela, I believe Stop the Stupidity had a hand in it, and a few other people. Let me just check my massages. Yes. So Stop This Stupidity, Emma, Michaela, and several other folks have all been involved in assembling all of the awesome AI-generated Suno songs that you lot have been composing and prompting, which has been so much fun. But now they're all like in one place over on the Discord, so you can go and check that out and react to them. There are some restrictions just to stop spam and excessive chat, but we've got a whole separate music channel for that, which is great, so you can talk about the stuff. But it's like a one-stop shop for all the awesome creativity that you lot have been putting out there, and it's been great. And after the stream, I'm going to be going through all of them and making a little bit of a list for myself of which ones to pluck out and use on stream or to turn into music videos once I've spoken to the creators and stuff like that. So thank you to Emma and Michaela for doing an amazing job, and Stop the Stupidity for helping out as well. Greatly appreciated. Chris the German Spy is here, and your messages are showing up in the chat, Chris. Finally. That is fantastic to see. I can see it. I'm saying so you know that I know that you know that your messages are showing up. Finally. So whatever the issue was there, I'm thinking that was a YouTube thing and they've sorted their lives out. So that is excellent news. The first thing we are going to do is becoming a little bit of a regular feature here in the Debunkatorium, and it will absolutely be a regular feature right here for Stupid Stuff Sundays. Before we go any further at all, everybody buckle in. It's time to check in with everybody's least favorite pieces of garbage. That's right. It's time for Ratzoid and Friends.
I'm a disgusting person. Everything that I say is a complete lie.
It's time to be awful. We spread lies and say things that are probably unlawful. Come and be gross with Flatzoid and Friends. Flatzoid and Friends, you crossed the line. Talking filth about Elizabeth like it's just fine. You call her names, you vile clown. Try to tear her apart to drag her down. But let's go! BJ2 with Flatzoids, crap-tastic. These jerks just spew. Fireflies, they're sexist too. These horrible folks are Flatzoid and Friends. They aren't clever or brave, they're cruel and obscene. They're full of venom, their minds aren't clean. Man of God, no, just full of hate. Circle-jerking cowards, Flatzoid and Friends. We're all lying liars who lie here, and we are disgusting humans. Report us now.
I insult women because I have a tiny micro penis.
Yes, you do, Ratzoid. You sure do. There you have it, folks. The theme tune for Ratzoid and Friends, and that means it's time to check in. Check the tally, as it were. Audio's a bit stuttery. I'm going to assume that's a you problem, Probes. But before we go any further, let me just investigate that. We'll have a little look-see, and I'll turn on some filters and turn off some filters. No, still don't like it. Let's turn everything on. There we go. And now let me know how that's sounding. We're holding up the whole show because we've got stuttery ordery for probes. Audio, or ordery, whatever you prefer. Let me know if that sounds any better. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. And that's something we all would have learned. Okay, cool. So, Probes, you've held up the whole stream selfishly for no reason. I'm kidding. No, thank you for the heads up, because I do like looking into that stuff just in case. We want everyone to have a good time. I've turned on some extra noise suppression, but it shouldn't gate too hard. I am just going to hit the limiter as well, and we'll leave that, but I won't engage the expander or the compressor. Was intermittent, so no apologies necessary. I'm just being a dick. Get buffering sometimes. Yeah, that's definitely YouTube's fault. My internet connection kicks ass. Anyway, we'll talk about all that stuff afterwards, because we're doing the Ratzoid and Friends thing, so it's fine to get sidetracked because nobody actually gives a toss. But what we need to do, if you're unaware, a couple of streams ago, had a bit of a rant, about Ratzoid. Stop the stupidity, I should say. Sorry, before we dive in. Can't follow simple instructions, and has gifted 10 Debunkerships to the channel. Thank you for that, Signor Stupidity. That is greatly appreciated. And let me just make a note here of that. Because you know what? Because you were kind enough to gift those memberships, when I get my first NASA shield check, 7 out of 10. All right, 7. Cool. When that comes through, I'm going to take 10% of that NASA shield check, and that's going towards this, the Hydrogen Alpha Telescope for Austin Thompson because I really want him to get it. So I'm going to throw some shekels his way. So that contribution is going to go towards that. Thank you. Stop the stupidity. That's how it's going to work. So Ratzoid is a piece of crap. Talked a bunch of garbage. Made a terrible attempt at, I guess you'd call it an apology, but it really wasn't. There was no meaning in it or anything else, and we all saw straight through it as if it was a piece of cling wrap over a toilet seat while you're drunk. You just may as well not have noticed. But what we did notice at the time is his new cruelty podcast, or Creolize, depending on which way you want to go. Both work for Ratzoid. Had 5.12k subscribers at that point. And then we checked in again and it was 5.09. And then we checked in again and it was 5.08. So there was definitely a downward trajectory. And what we want to do is just check in and see where that is at. Now, there's also some other news around the cruelty podcast. So let's just go across and we'll have a look. You can see here, I've highlighted it. Ladies and gentlemen, the number now is down to 5.07k subscribers. That number has reduced. Round of applause for everybody who has jumped ship from Ratzoid's bullshit. That's delightful to see. And the other thing that's hilarious is he's already changed the name. As you may or may not be aware, Creality is also the name of a 3D printing company, and a bunch of people took the initiative and let the 3D printing company know that this tool bag had tried to steal the name of their company for his horrible little anti-Semitic hypocritical Bible crap. So I suspect he's received an email and has tacked this garbage on the end to try and cover his ass. It's not going to work because he's still got this bit. He's still got a logo there. It's everywhere. So that's pretty dumb. But yeah, the numbers are going down. He's had to change the name. He's leaning hard into the biblical stuff. But the other bit of news, if you had less than a week in the pool, for how long before Ratzoid, just to remind you who Ratzoid is, we'll hear it from himself. Ratzoid, tell the people about yourself.
I am a complete hypocrite and I have zero integrity and no honor.
Yeah, that's right. How long would it be before he went back, even though he said he was out and he was done with Flat Earth? How long would it be before he dipped his toe back in the water to try and stop the bleeding of subscribers and viewers and watch time? If you had less than a week on your bingo card, you absolutely nailed it, because yeah, he dove straight back in the last few days. So one day ago he was talking TFE is against the biblical cosmology. That was a day ago. So he's gone back to the well. And then, can you really trust the biblical flat earth model? That was less than a day ago as well. He's already back to talking about flat earth to try and keep people interested. What an absolute tool bag he is. And this is funny. Flat earth, it's biblical with a question mark. You've been saying it for ages, you douche canoe. Like, it's not a surprise. And of course, he's had to go back to putting Will Duffy on his thumbnails because, as discussed here on the channel, when it comes to... there's Mike. Hello, Mike. Look, great to see him. When it comes to biblical cosmology, what Ratzoid is learning is what we've all known. Nobody gives a shit. So that's great to see. There's your update, folks. Dropping subscribers. Already gone back to the well of Flat Earth. Had to change the name. Still a hypocrite, still no integrity whatsoever, still trying to position himself as some sort of authority on the Bible, even though he doesn't adhere to it, and everything he does is the antithesis of any kind of moral or ethical strong ground, because he absolutely sucks. Right, so do you want to just tell the people one more thing about yourself before we ignore you exist again until next week? Anything at all? No? You've gone quiet? Or am I just hitting the wrong key? I'm probably hitting the wrong key. How about now?
I'm a disgusting person. Everything that I say is a complete lie.
You sure are. There you have it, folks. That is your update this week for Ratzoid and Friends.
I'm a disgusting person. Everything that I say is a complete lie.
It's time to be awful. lies and say things that are probably unlawful. Come and be gross with Flatoid and Friends. Flatoid and Friends, you crossed the line, talking filth about Elizabeth like it's just fine. You call her names, you vile clown, try to tear her apart to drag her down. Rebel Scum, BJ2, with Flatoids crap-tastic, these jerks just spew. Flat Earth lies, they're sexist too. These horrible folks are Flatoid and Friends. They aren't clever or brave, they're cruel and obscene. They're full of venom, their minds aren't clean. Man of God, no, just full of hate. Circle-jerking cowards, Flatoid and Friends. We're all lying liars who lie here, and we are disgusting humans. Report us now.
I insult women because I have a tiny micro penis.
There you have it. I know, I played the full theme song at the beginning and end of that segment. Why did I do that? Because it makes me chuckle knowing that you will have to sit through it twice. So, that's that bit done. And I enjoyed that immensely because his numbers are going down. Always good. There is one other fundraiser that we all know about. Which we'll check in for another favourite here on the channel. You all know who I'm talking about. Everybody's favourite Monotream.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
You sure are, as evidenced by your fundraising efforts, sir. No theme song for this one, because who cares? But here you go. Whitsett is up to 37% of his $10,000 goal. And that's come from a whole bunch of supporters. I don't think it gives us a number, but people are still throwing money at him, which is baffling. $3,700. He's got enough to buy a Melodoma telescope. Just quietly, sans a filter. So if he wanted to, he could do that. He won't because he's a selfish git, and whatever he's got going on, of course, is more important because this is Whitsett we're talking about, and he's center of the known universe, kind of like the center of a ferrocell magnet. But that's what's going on there. He's still getting cash, and I'm sure you're as baffled as I am of why anybody would be helping out with that. That's the news. That's what we've got. Probe says he probably did Elizabeth a favour in a way, and his cackle scumbag showed exactly how vile flirts can be. Helped drive her away from the whole stupid thing. Thingies crossified. I certainly hope so. And that, my friends, 28 minutes and 39 seconds into the stream is everything I had prepared for today. So we can either pull the pin or keep going. But we've had one idea for a new segment. Flip a Flatty. We're going with that so we can share the news of anybody else who's jumping ship from the Flat Earth cult, which is always a very cool thing. But yeah, nothing else has really happened besides a little bit of editing on my side. It's quite warm here today. I wish I'd put my air conditioner on before we kicked off today. And I did ponder playing a game with you lot today, but I haven't tested it. I don't know if it'll work, and I don't have a scene set up, so we're not going to do that. Sorry. So, while you lot talk amongst yourselves, I'm just going to go check out and see if there's anything new that we can do together. Is CC alive? That's a very good question, Tiles. And I might check that out right now, actually. I have not seen Craig's stream. I know it was a long one. FTFE. Haven't checked that out just yet. I'll get around to it. And excuse me. Also missed most of Mike's the other day because I was doing stuff, stomping around and doing things. Yeah, last video 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago from CC. I'll give you a look so you know I'm not making it up. 2 weeks ago. Terrible. Terrible. And it was just a stupid sun video. The partial eclipse. Which is very sad. Yeah, and we've watched most of these with Mike. So, Yeah, bit of a worry. Ratoid nearly has less subscribers than CC. CC, how do you feel about that? That you're about to overtake old Ratoid?
I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
We don't either, and that's why we love you, sir. You're fantastic. Apparently, let me have a look here. No, that can't be right. I didn't think so. It was saying that Mike's still live, according to this. He's got his little go live thingy, but that's not true. It's not true at all. Not one little bit. Wonder how many of their subs are just subs to get a good giggle. I would say all of them, Tori. Nobody watching CC is taking him seriously, and if they are, then that's a sad, sad indictment on humans as a species. Very concerning. Big Fish says, don't bother DP Debunks. Want a slow censorship of sheep being more stupid than any before him. Ah, okay. Yeah, all right. No worries. No worries at all. Where is CC's divorce fundraiser? Poor CC. Poor CC. But you know, couldn't happen to a more making sense kind of guy. So rocking on. I'm just looking to see if anything cool's happened on YouTube that we can check out. Not really. I don't follow that many flatties. I subscribe to CC. That is it. You know what we could do? We haven't done this for a while. I say for a while, since last time I streamed. That shouldn't have been a thing. Well, there are a couple of new Potato Man videos. We could do that. We've got Rice TV, Dave Weiss, aka Dearth. Or we've got the Fantasia podcast. What's the Fantasia podcast? I'm curious. Let's see how crazy that is before we dive in. The 11 Network. And there's a Fantasia thing, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's safe, right? How do we know that CC has been divorced? I heard Mike Drunk Debunk Show say that he was. I don't know if he's been divorced, but last couple of videos I've seen of CC when he's been gesticulating wildly with his hand is there's a distinct lack of wedding band on his paw. So I believe that's what is being referred to, that his wedding band has been missing. I don't know if that might be a thing that's required for work. Given that he's driving the short bus, I can't see that really being an issue with his occupation, but it could be. I'm not one to cast aspersions or make unsubstantiated claims. But, you know, it's there. Carlos doesn't remember him wearing a ring ever. Cool. Yeah, I don't know one way or the other. Chris or Tiles, I'm not sure. And I don't want to cast aspersions, so we're not going to. Let's check in with Flat Earth Dave. We do kind of have a theme song for Flat Earth Dave, but it takes a couple of minutes to get through. So let's check out the start of this thing. We'll see how we go. And if it gets too painful, we can just bail out. We've heard all this before.
Howdy, everybody. We've got a really exciting show planned for you today.
Oh, hang on. What's going on there? I've got audio weirdness happening. Did you all hear that echo? Echo?
If you've been with me since the beginning, you know that I launched with Flat Earth Dave. And a big part of Fantasia is being open-minded and curious and stretching your credibility so you can grow and make the magic happen. And Flat Earth Dave...
You getting that echo? I don't know what's causing that. We've never had that happen before. Why am I hearing it? Chris is getting it a bit. You're probably hearing it through the microphone because I'm leaning too close to it again, which I'm trying to stop myself from doing. Let me just...
Talks about the Earth being flat.
Yeah, it's the desktop audio, but I just turned off the monitoring for that. Audio input. Ah, I know what it is. I know what it is. Try this.
And that's about as controversial an idea as it comes. So if you haven't checked that out, please do that. But today he's back to give us more information about the things that he believes that mainstream people don't know. So welcome back, Dave. It's good to see you.
Thanks. That was your first show? Was that your first?
You were your first. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Big splash.
Wow. That's when I did my podcast, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, the first one we did was 9/11, which the title of the show was 9/11 is Dave's Baby. And it was a big splash. So, so equally so. And again, I believe the earth is flat. I know it's not flat. I know it's flat and not a globe. There you go. Freudian slip. There you go.
Oh! Did you hear that? Dirth just said the quiet part out loud. Ooh, hold on.
So, so equally so. And again, I believe the earth is flat. I know it's not flat. I know it's flat and not a globe.
Oh, we are clipping the hell out of that. What does it sound like if creepy sexy Dirth says it?
Oh, and again, believe the earth is flat. I know it's not flat. I know it's flat and not a globe.
Pick a lane, Dave. Pick a lane.
I know it's not flat. I know it's flat.
We know, Dirth. Look at that. 1 minute in, and Dirth has actually said something accurate. Amazing. We can only do it at 720p because Flurs can't tech. Heard it here, kids. Dirth knows it's not flat. Fantastic. Let's move along.
Flat and not a globe. There you go. Freudian slip. There you go. I must know that it's a globe.
He just said it again. Must know it's a globe. It wasn't Freudian, Dave. It's just true.
So when we first sat down 4 months ago, and since the final experiment happened over 4 days in December 2024, got to start with that. So the final experiment was an offer by Will Duffy, an American Christian pastor, for an all-expense-paid trip for flat earthers and globe earthers to experience.
Hold on. We're doing this all wrong, people. Whoops. I need that switched on. Thank you. Elmer Spud, can you please... what the fuck did I just do? There we go. That's better. Yeah. Elmer Spud, help me out here, buddy.
NASA twicked Woo.
Sounds like they twicked you, champ. Here's what we want to do. We just want to do some arts and crafts, people. Arts and crafts. It's that point of the show. And we're missing some important context. And we don't want to be missing important context. So we just need to add some devil horns here. Color those in. Lovely. There we go. Let's get some black. Finer than that, I think. Whoops, nope. Let's get the little Mo happening. A bit of Van Dyke. It's a bit rough, but you get the idea. And I can't add some text, but if I could, we probably can. Hang on. Because we all know what he's thinking. This is going to be rough as balls, so nobody make fun of me. I miss Dana. Because we all know he loves Dana. Sad face. Aww. Okay, now we get back to it. Sorry, that was important. Oh, Devil Tail. Good shout, Chris. Back to the red and make it a Devil Tail. Just go from like here. Okay. I need to erase. Got a stink line over here. Who put that stink line there? Is that me? You don't need to be there. It's all wrong. Let's just make this a lot bigger. Speed up the process. It's not erasing. No. Ah, there we go. Fixed it. I fixed it. But now I think about it. We definitely do need some... Whoa, that's too big. That's what she said. That's what Dana said. Oops, bright devil horn. Yeah, it's fine. Take that down to like 10. Yeah, applause for me. I don't deserve them. Stink line, stink line. Stink line, stink line. Stink line, stink line, stink line. There we go. I can't draw that one, Emma. But duly noted. He still misses Dana. Okay, now we can continue. But before we do, what did I do? Well, we're way too far ahead. Let's go back here. He needs to rant about Will and co.
Wavity is just a Niwi.
It's not, Elmer Spud. You're an idiot. And we're going to see how much of an idiot right now.
That comes with it. What do I mean by that? The final experiment, which is neurolinguistic.
Back a bit.
Got to start with that. So the final experiment was an offer by Will
Where's
Duffy,
KFC
an
bucket?
American Christian pastor, for an all-expense-paid trip for flat earthers and globe earthers to experience the midnight sun. And some flat earthers say that if there's a 24-hour midnight sun, then this would disprove the flat earth theory. And it was all live streamed. We all saw it. So, Dave, can you tell us if I presented that event correctly and your interpretation of it?
Well, you presented it as it was presented, the final experiment, which is neurolinguistic programming. Then the final experiment stored in your brain as a case. And then if this happens, then that. If that happens, then this. Right? So you're focusing on the result of the final experiment. It's not experiment. It's not final. And it's an observation of a light in the sky. If you believe that the motion... Now, and by the way, 7-8 years ago, I did say there can't be a circling sun in Antarctica. And I think I'm wrong, but I don't think there is a circling sun in Antarctica. And I think we were deceived. This was
what? That's going to bug me now because asshole's moved and he's messed up all my drawings. And, that's just super fucking rude, just quietly. Very inconsiderate from Dearth for a start. But I'm just going to leave it there. But what the did he just say?
7-8 years ago, I did say there can't be a circling sun in Antarctica. And I think I'm wrong, but I don't think there is a circling sun in Antarctica. And I think we were deceived. This was a massive.
So 7-8 years ago, he said there couldn't be a circling sun in Antarctica. I've got that much. Then he said, I think I'm wrong, which implies he knows there's a 24-hour circling sun in Antarctica. But then he says there isn't one. What the fuck are you talking about?
Years ago, I did say there can't be a circling sun in Antarctica. And I think I'm wrong, but I don't think there is a circling sun in Antarctica. And I think we were deceived. This was a massive deception, but that doesn't even matter. I don't need to prove that, because if you want to believe that
you can't prove that, Death, because it's not true. It's been happening forever because Earth's a globe. As much as you don't want it to be a thing, it's still a thing.
motion of a light in the sky, you have to take all, it proves the shape of the Earth. You have to take all of the other baggage that comes with it. What do I mean by that? You have to believe that helium and hydrogen that defy gravity here on Earth, that are gases, the law and that natural gas law is gas violently fills the available space, but violating that law, helium and hydrogen collapse upon themselves and make gigantic 860,000 mile around burning balls in a vacuum. This violates natural law. Okay, so we're talking about
no, it doesn't. It conforms perfectly with natural law. It's just that you don't actually understand what natural law is, Dearth, because you're a moron. That's the problem. Admitting one's ignorance is the first step on the path to knowledge. It's just admitting your ignorance will take so fucking long. You'll be long deceased before you get to the end of that list, Dearth. That's the issue. You're just thick.
Narnia here. So now we have a burning ball of gas burning 640 billion tons of helium and hydrogen every single day for billions of years, never changed sizes, has enough gravity to hold on to Pluto and Neptune and all the other planets, but ignores our moon. When our moon...
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You keep saying this and it's wrong. And you've been told that it's wrong. It doesn't ignore the moon. Gravity doesn't ignore anything. You tool. But you keep saying it. And you should really stop. He won't.
Comes around the Earth towards the sun. Shouldn't it speed up a little bit when it tries to go away? Shouldn't it slow down a little bit? Right? So
he was rapping. Look at him. He's beatboxing.
Shouldn't it speed up a little bit when it tries to go away? Shouldn't it slow down a little bit? Right?
He's serenading
so
her.
We're literally talking about Narnia land here. If you go to my channel or search on my app,
I don't think we are literally talking about Narnia. Like, this is another example, Death. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
For but the final experiment debunked, or I forget the name of the video now. It's on my interviews channel, where Marty Leeds and I.
It's really hard to keep track of the amount of bullshit you put out there, Death. I understand. Like, so many videos so full of lies. And the problem is you tell so many lies that it's hard to keep all of those lies straight in your head. That's the problem with lying. The best part about being on this side of the argument, where, you know, we just talk about objective reality and what's true, is we don't have to keep track of what we said. It never changes. And it's not because we're indoctrinated. It's just the truth is the truth. So we don't have to keep track of the lies that we've told because we don't tell any. Like, we've got a sponsor here on the channel. I can't bring it up right now, but Mike over on the Drunk Debunk Show showed it. Once you go globe, you're right. Really good position to be in. We have a hard time keeping track of all your lies, Dearth. We haven't got time to generate our own and keep track of those so we don't contradict ourselves. Whereas you just don't care about contradicting yourself. You just do it willy-nilly. I said willy. Let's move on.
We talk about the technology that they have, that exists for them to actually fake a sun in the sky. Right? They can Project Bluebeam. They can project cities into the sky, 8K holograms. Right? Microsoft has the technology to project plasma balls that bring light and heat into thin air. Okay? There's tech.
Where has he got that from? He keeps saying this. Microsoft projector plasma. No? Okay, let's just ask Google real quick, and then we'll try some other things. Can Microsoft project plasma balls into the sky? Okay, according to Gemini, no, Microsoft does not have the technology to project plasma balls into the sky. Plasma balls are typically small and closed and require specific electrical components to generate the plasma effect. Microsoft, a technology company, primarily focuses on software, hardware, and cloud services, not on creating and launching sky-based displays like plasma balls. Plasma balls are not practical for large-scale projections. Microsoft focuses on technology, not displays. Even if Microsoft had the technology to create and launch plasma balls, there would be significant practical challenges, including the need to power and control them remotely, as well as the safety and regulatory aspects of launching objects into the sky. I think when Dirth's talking about plasma ball, he might be talking about, this is the Lighting Superstore, plasma ball. Let's have a look at what we've got. Do they have any plasma balls? We've got an image. Is he thinking of these? Let me just ask Google. Plasma ball. I think he's thinking of that. Am I way off base? Is this what he's saying? There's your 24-hour Antarctic sun, ladies and gentlemen. I knew it. Case closed. You busted, Will Duffy. We're on to your tune. I knew you were dodgy, McKeegan, and Jason Morandi, and Lisbeth, and all of you. All of you. Shame. For shame. Let me make it really big. For shame. If you go over to the Discord, Emma and Co have written some songs about my plasma balls. Yeah. Dave, that's not what they saw, buddy. And let's just do another quick check. 8K, what was it? Hologram projections. Are there 8K hologram projections in the sky? 8K holographic projections in the sky are currently a futuristic concept. Technology is rapidly advancing towards this goal. So holographic displays are already capable of displaying images at 8K resolution. Cool. But also, not quite happening yet. Okay, one more. You are Victoria's asked, can we search for Devil Plasma Ball? Nice. All right. That is objectively cool. And kind of what one? I see you. The Eye of Sauron. Ah. I have the worst case of pink eye you've ever seen. I should really wash my hands after I poop. Yes, you should, Sauron. Shame on you. Everybody's just seen my real email address. Strike that from the record. It's fine. You can use it. I don't use it anymore. I'm using the old mate DP one. It's all good. It is the big brother eye. For sure. For sure. So who would have thought? Turns out, Dearth is full of shit. Damn. What a shame.
Technology where you can actually put physical objects on these holograms and they will float in the air. I mean, it's beyond what we're talking about. And if you look at this, to think that they couldn't fake it, and I'm not saying that they did, it's something that needs to be looked into more, but you know, that's where my money would be if we were going to bet on it. That
I'm not saying they faked it. I'm not saying they did, but I bet money on it. Hey, Dearth, and everybody, feel free to share this around. Let's go to full screen cam. Hey, Dearth, I just heard you say on the Fantasia podcast video that you posted on your channel that if you were going to put money on whether or not the final experiment was fake. Hang on, let me get rid of this. I can't talk to him with all his stink lines and devil horns and everything all over me, although that is pretty fucking funny. There we go. Fixed. Let's try that again. Just tail in the mouth. If I had $1 for every time that happened, I'd be making money in a weird way. Dirt, you said recently, or semi-recently, on the Fantasia podcast that if you were going to place a bet on whether a final experiment was faked, you'd put your money on faked. I will take that bet, sir. I'm willing to enter into a legally binding contract that states if you can provide quantifiable, verifiable, peer-reviewed evidence that the final experiment was 100% faked, you will take possession of absolutely everything I own and every single dollar that I earn in my life between now and the day that I die. And that's risky for me because I've got 2 children that I need to support. However, I will 100% take that bet. We'll put a time limit on it. You'll need to produce that evidence by the 30th of June, 2025. That is your deadline to provide quantifiable, indisputable evidence of fakery within the final experiment that needs to be peer-reviewed, published, okay, and be able to be replicated by other people and confirmed. All right, I need all of that in my hot little hand by the 30th of June, and then you own everything I own, okay, and every single dollar I earn for the rest of my life. I'll be out in the street. I'll be destitute. But I will take your bet, sir. You just let me know. You can pop up here in the chat, or you can shoot me an email, oldmatedp@gmail.com. You can come and join the Discord. You can hang out with us there and have a laugh at songs about balls and all sorts of stuff. You'll have great time. It's right up your alley. But by all means, feel free. I will take that bet. Will you actually put your money where your mouth is, sir? Because, obviously the reverse is true. If, in fact, the final experiment was not faked, which it wasn't, I get to take possession of everything you own and everything you earn between now and the day you shuffle off this mortal coil. Actually, you know what? I'll be even more reasonable, okay? Let me revise the terms of the bet. This is very low risk for you now, okay? My terms, as previously stated, everything I own, that includes all my computers and everything else, I won't be able to stream anymore. The channel's gone. Absolute disaster for me. Every single dollar I earn between now and the day I pass away belongs to you. If you can't prove the final experiment was faked by the 30th of June, you have to pull your app off the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, never to be seen again. You can't re-release it under a different name. You can't do a different version of it. You can't take it down for a week and then put it back up. That's it. It's done, dusted forever. Okay? It's gone. That's the deal. You let me know what you wanted to do. And by the way, if I don't get a response, and if you don't respond by the 30th of June, either accepting or refusing, I'll just take it as a refusal because you're a chicken shit. I think that's fair. Okay, glad we've got that out of the way. Again, high risk for me. If you can prove it was faked, I'm screwed. But I'm pretty sure you can't. I think that's fair. That fair? Yes, including blow up Sheila. And you know that Dearth would be going to fucking town on that thing. So, yeah, there we go.
It's crazy to deny that that's even a possibility when, I deny
it.
So many
so I'm
things
crazy
about this technology. And I'll say this, several of them I can't talk about because the person that told me about them,
got a mole.
If I revealed what he told me, it would lead back to him. Okay. And that's all I can say. That's all I can say. So again, it doesn't matter whether they fake the sun, whether there is some anomaly around the solstice. There are several models that could show a circling sun there. I don't know if they're true or not. They're all just theories, right? The heliocentric sun is a theory. The heliocentric hypothesis is the craziest thing ever, right? We could say, oh, the sun's a projection through the firmament, as all the ancient religions say. It's a focal point of light, as some spacing on the guy's name, a well-known scientist, He said that the sun that we see is in non-space and it's a transformer from another dimension. There's all these different things. There's certain models.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. So, right. Now, come on, people. He's being more than reasonable here. Let's just be honest. We'll do a poll. We'll have a poll. Be honest. What makes more sense? Earth is a globe, or sun equals transformer from other dimension. I've had to balk the spelling insanely, but that's the poll. That is the poll. We're going to get to the bottom of this. What makes more sense? Earth is a globe or the sun is a transformer from another dimension? No third option. They're the only two options that Dave is giving us. We'll play it again so we can hear it from the spud himself.
As all the ancient religions say, it's a focal point of light. As some it's based on the guy's name, a well-known scientist. He said that the sun that we see is in non-space and it's a transformer from another dimension. There's all these different things. There's certain models that say that
He actually said that to another human being with a straight face. The sun exists in non-space and is actually a transformer from another dimension. Do you think he knows that transformers are made up? Like, he knows it's a cartoon, right? And it was literally created to help sell toys. The Transformers show was just like a 22, 24-minute commercial every single episode. And even the later movies were just designed to sell toys. And the newer revisions of the Transformers, especially the toys, kind of awful. Do you know how long it takes to transform one of those things from a car to a fucking robot? It's ridiculous. I got my son one because he was into NASCAR. Don't ask me why. He's Australian. No idea. But it was a NASCAR. All right, turn it into a robot. No dramas. And I'm thinking back in the day, you had Optimus Prime, you did the legs, pulled the arms out, flipped the head over, boom, done. You make the noise yourself. Problem solved. These things, like, you literally need a fucking engineering degree to drive them. It's ridiculous. Don't get me started on new version like, no. The like revised Bayformers toys they're on the list. They're on the list. I'm writing it down. Fucking half an hour to turn a car into a robot. It's ludicrous. Yes, the sun being from another dimension does seem more fun, but it's also categorically fucking ridiculous. Big fish. Big fish. Dave is a Decepticon man. Lovely. He certainly is. Round of applause. Big fish, everybody. All right, let's see how insane this is going to get, because we're off to an absolute fucking flyer.
South Sun is a reflection off of the dome. All of these things, you say, okay.
Yeah, dome doesn't exist. So that's a problem. Joe Black is here. He's lurking, though. The newer ones are motorized and voice activated. Yeah, there's like there's an Optimus Prime and I think a Bumblebee. But yeah, not heaps of them. And that takes all the fun out of it if they transform themselves.
They're all just theories. But the craziest theory of all is the one I just told you. The heliocentric sun. Hydrogen and helium with gravity in a space vacuum.
No, Dave. No. That is not the craziest shit we've just heard. The craziest shit we just heard was that the sun exists in non-space and is a transformer from another dimension. The second craziest shit we heard was like, there's stuff that I've been told and I can't tell you what it is because it'll be traced back to the person who told me. I suspect, Dearth, that person doesn't exist. Prove me wrong. You can, again, just shoot me a private email and let me know. I won't tell anybody. It's just between you and I. But I would love to know what that claim is, so I can share it with everybody. The bad news for you is that the Earth is a globe.
NASA twicked woo.
They didn't twig me, Elmer Spud. The Earth's a globe. You're gonna have to deal with it. Right, moving on.
Violating natural law. Okay, right? You need containment for air. Right? You open up a soda, instantly equalizes, right?
Emma, I'm assuming a dearth break means you're just taking a massive crap. Because that's what I call it. Where's Wally is here, everybody. Round of applause for Where's Wally. If it'll work. I don't think it wants to work. It doesn't want to work. There we go. It's going to cut itself off. Yep. That's how that works. Shut up. I pressed the stop button. Let's try it again. This is a nightmare to fix. Right. One more try. God damn it. God damn it all to hell. Sorry, Wally. You got like 8 semi-rounds of applause because I've broken the thing. Is that just going to play now? Okay. Then I turn it off. And now it should behave itself. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, one more try for Where's Wally? Nailed it. Welcome along. Good to have you in the Debunkatorium, sir, for Stupid Stuff Sunday. And what is more stupid than listening to a humanoid potato tell us that the sun exists in non-space and it's actually a transformer from another dimension. Apparently, only 24% of the audience believe that the sun being a transformer from another dimension makes more sense than the Earth being a globe. It's reassuring, but also terrifying that 24% of you are on board with Dearth. I'm going to take all of that as meaning you're all a bunch of assholes. Trolls. Okay, moving on.
You have a box of air in a room that has no air. You open the box, the air instantly fills the room. Instantly. Right? So when you want to say that the light in the sky dictates the shape of the Earth, you have to take in the fact that it's helium and hydrogen.
Every time Dearth does his whole like, if you've got gas in a container or in a can and you open it, it goes shoop and it instantly equalizes, instantly, blah, blah, blah. All I can think of is, Dearth, tell us you don't understand a fucking thing about gas without telling us you don't understand a fucking thing about gas. And he readily obliges. It's fantastic.
In space, it's 400 times bigger than the moon. It's 400 times farther than the moon. It lines up perfectly, making eclipses, which the odds of that are 0. And it does it every...
The odds of that, Dearth, are about 100% because it happens on the reggy regs. Eclipses are a real thing. And if the Earth was flat, we'd make a line across the moon or across the sun. Just a line. That's it. Not a circle. Not like a perfect fucking fit. Because, you know, there's only like 2 shapes that can cast a perfect circle type shadow. One of them is a sphere. One of them would be like a round cylinder at exactly the right fucking angle. The odds of the Earth being a round cylinder that can do that, they are 0. But the odds of it being a sphere are 100% because it perfectly matches reality, which is unfortunate for you.
Every year and every 18 years, the exact cycle repeats again and again and again and again, right? In a gravitational helio-nonsensical BS model. But the eclipses repeat every 18 years through eternity, right?
Yeah, they do. They repeat. But you just said the odds of it happening are 0%. So, Dearth, pick a fucking lame. KP Emporium's got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I'll give you the clap.
This is the sky clock is the most accurate clock in the world because the finest Swiss watch is basing time off of the sky clock. But in our best computers that we have,
it's kind of not though, right? Because you can set your watch to whatever time you want. It'll be wrong, but you can. Nature doesn't really dictate that different areas or states or territories or countries have daylight savings. It's just a thing that we do because we're like, hey, it's summertime or it's warmer at this time of year. Let's push the clocks back a little bit and have more time sinking some cans down at the beach. Purely man-made thing. Michaela, I misread that message because I read it really quickly and I thought it said Dearth is making babies. That's not your fault. That's how diseased my brain is. While you're watching this, what you should do is rate the level of brain hurt between 0 and 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And wherever you land on that pain scale, turn that into a dollar amount and go chip in towards getting a hydrogen alpha telescope for Melodome. That'd be awesome and greatly appreciated. Put the pain to good use is what I'm saying. Channel the agony because that's what I'll be doing. Here we go.
we can't model 3 gravitational bodies. It's called the 3-body system, the 3-body problem, where if you put 2 balls, like, hey, I got a sun.
He said 2 balls. You better believe I'm clipping that. Because I just want Elmer Spud to come out and go, 2 balls. Oh, I did it again. Go back here. Shit. Here's where I want it to be.
NASA twicked woo.
No, they didn't. What about your toilet, Elmer Spud? Tell us about your toilet.
My toilet flushes the same way every time.
Yeah, but you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you absolute tool. I got desktop news.
A neurolinguistic program.
Oh, squiggly lines.
The most accurate clock in the world because the finest Swiss watch.
That was pretty close.
Is basing time off of the sky clock. But in our best computers that we have, we can't model 3 gravitational bodies. It's called the 3-body system, the 3-body problem, where if you put 2 balls, like, hey, I got a sun, I got a planet.
2 balls.
At these size, this much gravity, and then you could put it in a computer model and say they're orbiting each other, and that computer model will tell you exactly where it's going to be every second for now until eternity. Then you add.
It's called maths and science, Death. That's how it works. It's not all magic and we can't explain anything because it'd be really unfortunate if anybody disproved the entirely falsified model that I preach in my bullshit app that leaks your data. Yeah, science and maths doesn't work that way, and they don't give a shit about you. So that's why that works, Dave.
One more body. You add one more body into that, a moon or a sun or another star or another planet, and the entire thing goes into chaos mode. Here's 3 equal-sized bodies. This is a computer modeling what they would do, and after a very short period of time, they go into what I call chaos mode. You never know what it's going to do next. You can guess what it's going to do a couple seconds from now, but you can't guess what it's going to do a minute from now, right? So
I'm pretty sure his only understanding of this comes from the Netflix show. Dearth assumes that the 3-body problem, according to science, has something to do with Game of Thrones as well, and Giants from Tartaria, because one of the actors was on both shows.
So this is what our solar system would be doing. But our solar system is making beautiful, perfect spirograph patterns. And they're without getting into it, there's a 2,000 years
expected.
ago, well, they found a fossil off of Greece, off the island of
Grim Algoon. That's if the three bodies have the same mass. Yeah.
Antikythera, and they called it the Antikythera mechanism. And it was a computer gear-based model that shows you exactly where all the eclipses happen, where all the planets are, the phases of the moon, everything. And it's the most accurate computer that we have to this day.
Dirty Death sucks oysters. Correct. Brenda Creators here. Hey, Brenda. Series? Yes, correct. The most accurate computer we have today. Is it though?
Models everything from 2,000 years ago, and it's still deadly accurate today. They rebuilt it. They used MRIs and X-rays, and they literally rebuilt it, and it's amazing. But you don't hear about this because they don't want you to know about it.
Well, we don't hear about it because you're making it up, Dave. It's horseshit.
So the final experiment is, again, it's a neurolinguistic programming. Hey, this is the final experiment. Well, I have two choices. It's called a false binary. That trip was designed for me, because me with my app has been literally causing them waking up too many people. So they wanted to take.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for one of the most severe cases of main character syndrome in history. There it is. Like, yes, I've been talking about him on the show and everything else, but holy crap, Death. It was put to a vote. People wanted you to go to Antarctica because you're a piece of crap, and they wanted to see you absolutely humbled and embarrassed. But you're a chicken shit. You called everybody demons and refused to take a free trip to Antarctica to, put your beliefs to the test. Somebody else went. Jaron went instead, and he no longer believes in the flat earth. He now knows that the earth is actually an oblate spheroid, or a globe. You had that opportunity, you didn't go, and you've just been slinging mud ever since and trying to make excuses. Like, you and your app really aren't a problem for us, other than you keep lying and you keep targeting vulnerable people, and you keep leaking people's personally identifiable data, or personally identifying information, got there, like everywhere, because you're an idiot, your developer's an idiot, and you don't care. That's the problem. You yourself and your app aren't waking anybody up. They're just, reducing the average IQ on your side of the debate because it's all ridiculous and crap. That's the issue. Also, we don't like you that much. We just don't. Like, you're not a good person. So there's that. Just wanted to clear that up for everybody. Yeah, where's Wally's got it? Absolutely. Death's app wasn't waking people up. It's causing people to lose sleep, fearing being doxxed by the leaky app. Exactly right. By the way, head over to MC Toon's Discord, go to the GlobeSec public channel, and you can follow along as our very own, all the women love him, Shifty Eye Shady, launches a class action lawsuit against Death. It's going to be great.
Take it down. And I instantly saw through the false binary and said, absolutely not. I'm not interested. Take a hike. But I don't talk.
No, Dave. No. What you saw was your grift ending because you knew what was going to happen if you went to Antarctica. You'd been lying about it for years. You actually made a claim about there not being a 24-hour sun in Antarctica because you were able to claim that all the other videos were fake because people knew how to add titles to a screen with depth mapping in DaVinci Resolve, and that got you off the hook. You just parroted Dubay, you parroted Nathan Oakley, you all had a little circle jerk about the 24-hour sun, and then when you realized, shit, people are actually going to go and all of this is going to fall apart, you ran away with your little devil tail tucked between your legs, and you just pick the eyes off your little potato self while everybody else did the work, and then you came out and just said, oh, it's all fake. It's all fake. You can go, Dave. You can go. You've made at least 300 grand off leaking people's data through your app. You can afford 40 grand just to fly down to Antarctica at the end of this year. Have a look for yourself. Let us know how you go. You won't do it because you're a coward. Just like you won't actually undertake a scientific experiment, even though you committed to doing so with the horrible person who is Dr. Shiva on his podcast. He's a piece of crap, in case you didn't know. But he did put Dearth on the spot. And once again, we got to see Dearth just shrivel like a sliced bit of potato in an oven.
Talking a lot, but I want to talk about
Bruce Wolford.
a real final experiment, right? And nobody has come up with anything that says that this this won't work. So this is a gyro, a 3-axis gyro, a gimbal gyro, right? It holds rigidity in space, right? So if I had this gyro on this hallway and I walked down the hallway, it would stay level with the floor, right? If I did somersaults, it would stay level with the floor, right? If I turned it sideways, it would point straight down the hallway as I walked down the hallway. Now, if that hallway, it was a left-hand turn at the end, I would turn, but the gyro would stay focused this way. I would now be walking this way with the gyro, right? Instead of this way, right? So that's the nature of a gyro, right? So on a ball Earth, north to south are straight lines. So if you use the gyro, an upright gyro, aligned it with north and south, and you went from the North Pole to the South Pole, anywhere, the gyro would stay aligned with magnetic north perfectly, okay? The problem is, in the north, when you follow a line west, you have to constantly keep turning to the right to maintain that heading. Now, that's true on a...
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's not how it works. In fact, Dearth, if you'd like to know more about gyros and how they actually work, you can go to the channel of a gentleman who actually had the balls to go to Antarctica, one Mr. Dave McKeegan, a member of the Zoo Crew. And he'll tell you all about it. It's a fantastic video and proves that everything you're saying at the moment is bullshit. So feel free to check that out in your own time. We all know you won't, but it does contradict every claim you're making about gyros and how they work, because you don't actually understand how they work. And yes, we can all have a little bit of rusty. There you go. You're welcome. Right, back to the stupids.
A flat Earth and a globe Earth, right? Because let's say on a globe, you're a mile from the North Pole.
McKeegan does suck, Tori.
So your North Pole is there, 90 degrees, right?
Oh, shenanigans.
North Pole's right there, 90 degrees. So west would be 90 degrees to that. And if I tried to go that way, I have to keep turning so my North Needle would stay to the North Pole. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right. So east and west are circles around the North. Doesn't prove flat Earth because it's the same.
You have to keep turning right. Was he talking about a compass? Let me hear that again. Sorry, folks.
Right there, 90 degrees. So west would be 90 degrees to that. And if I tried to go that way, I have to keep turning so my North Needle would stay to the North Pole. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right.
I mean, with a compass, that needle's always going to point north. Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. Magnetic north is all wibbly wobbly at Earth scale. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Right. So east and west are circles around the North. Doesn't prove flat Earth because it's the same on both. Globers don't like going down this path because they know where it's going.
We're fine with it.
So let's say this is New York.
No, we're fine with it, Dave, because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You have no fucking clue. Everything you're talking about is a globe proof. Pay yourself 3 Bitcoins, sir, because you're nailing it. You're completing your own challenge.
I'm going to California, going around, and I have to constantly keep turning to the right. You won't even notice that turn. If you were on a track that was 1,000 miles around, you would think you were going straight.
So in that context, he understands 1,000 miles, that if it's a turn, you won't even feel it. And yet 1,000 miles per hour in rotation on something the size of the Earth, that's too fast. See a little bit of contradiction there, Dearth. The problem. He's gonna say the 1,000 miles an hour thing in a minute. I haven't watched this before, but we all know he's gonna say the 1,000 miles an hour spinning thing, right?
Right? You'd think you're going straight. You wouldn't even.
Ashley, we're at 11 minutes 42 of this video. It's 1 hour and 3 minutes. Put in your predictions for time codes for when he starts talking about 1,000 miles an hour of rotation being ridiculous and we should all be flung off into space and being too fast. It's definitely in his script, Illusion, but where is he going to put it in this presentation? I think Miss Fantasia is possibly making an O face right here. Anyway, moving on.
Even notice the micro turns, especially if you're an airplane in the sky. However, in the south, when you go west on a globe, you have to turn to the left to maintain that heading of 270. Right? You have to turn to the left.
No, you said left.
Right? And so
no,
that
left
doesn't happen. You turn to the right. Now, do we have evidence of this? There's many Navy ship captains that always talk about when they're trying to dead reckon east or west in the south, they're trying to dead reckon and they have to keep turning to the north, not to the south.
They don't. Who are they? Give me names. Tell me who. 4237. I suspect Big Fish just did a search on the transcript.
And they're told, don't worry about it by their admirals. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing your job, right? So this would be a final experiment.
Wait. Emma's made a good point. Where does he always find these women who just sit there and listen to his derp? Has Fantasia said anything since like the 2-minute mark when she asked about the final experiment? I don't think she said anything. He almost said hemisphere, then stopped himself. Yeah, can't use the sphere word. No.
That would be a final experiment, right? On a flat Earth, you got the equators right here. So you got a plane in the north and a plane in the south. They both have to keep turning to the right to maintain that heading of 270 degrees west.
Anyone spot the problem with his little demo there? It's going to take the plane in the south about 2 to 3 times longer to travel the distance required than the plane up here because all of that shit is closer. It's got to cover more ground because it's wider on the outside, Dearth. Nice and subtle little bit of visual manipulation there, but it's not exactly the same on your map because this map, which has been disproven by the final experiment that you say is fake, this map is bullshit, and that's not what the Earth looks like at all. It doesn't work. That's the problem. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
There's your final experiment. It would take 1 day. It would take 1 airplane in the south and a gyro.
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I'm sure someone can look it up. There's no point. But a lot of planes fly in the south, Dave, every day. You can just watch them on like Flight Tracker or whatever else and look at the flight times and all that kind of bizzo to know that everything you just said is garbage. Like your final experiment happens at least 10, 20 times a day. It's been done. Simpsons did it. over.
We were actually very close. We had a guy that had private jets, money. He was about to buy the gyro that we needed. It was $6,000. He disappeared.
What do you mean disappear?
He disappeared. Dun, dun, dun. Fair question from Fantasia. What do you mean he disappeared?
$1,000. He disappeared.
What do you mean disappeared?
Can't find him. Disappeared. Went radio silent on me. Now,
is it possible that you just got fucking trolled, Dave? Just putting it out there that maybe someone was yanking your chain. You know, yanking your chain, Dave, yanking your chain like this. Is that possible? Maybe. Or maybe like this. They were yanking your chain. Just putting it out there. It's a possibility. You dickhead. It's probably New Moon. He loves doing that sort of stuff. Scammer got scammed. Yeah, a bit of poetic justice there. Yeah, as David said, buddy, don't pretend you can't gather $6,000. Witzer can do it on his own. He's halfway there.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
Exactly. If he can do it, and he's a platypus, surely he can scrape 6 G's together. You've ripped off more than that amount from people, Dearth, over the years. So, you know. Disappeared. Went radio silent. Can't find him. Amazing.
I could theorize all day what happened. They could have said, hey, buddy, if you continue down this path, you're going to be poor, right? Super rich guy. What's the best way to control a super rich guy? Make him poor. Okay. You know, they could have threatened his family. They could have done anything. They just, maybe some tragedy happened. I don't know, but he disappeared. Weird.
It is weird, especially because, and I'm just going out on a limb here, maybe I'm just hypothesizing. God damn it. Can't do my zoom in because now it says I suck. Maybe that shit never happened is what I was going to say. That could be one explanation. Also, if they're going to make this guy disappear because of something he might have done that would prove flat earth, where are the emails or evidence that you've been threatened, Dave? Or that Mark Sargent, or that Witzer, or Marty Leeds, or any other prominent flat earther or truther has been threatened by the Illuminati or the mysterious they? Because I would have thought, given that you're out there espousing so much truth to the world and flipping globers to become flatties every single day, and you're so dangerous to the establishment and the shadow governments or the Smurfs or whatever it is you believe is running the planet, why would they silence this mystery person who I propose to you doesn't actually exist? And they just let you, Potato Man, run around shooting off your mouth. Wouldn't they shut you up? But in 10 years, they've never bothered. Why would Google shadow ban all flat earthers and hide their content when they could just, you know, actually silence all of you? Just saying. Just putting it out there. I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm doing.
Really weird. We were on a private encrypted server talking to each other, and he disappeared.
Wow.
Right? You have to turn to...
We know that's bullshit because Dave doesn't know anything about encryption. Just look at his app.
To the right, but on a globe, this plane would have to turn to the left, as I showed earlier. Now, there's a final experiment. You want to see another one?
Sure.
So...
Yeah, Dave. Show me another one, Dave. Come on, Dave.
Where is my other one?
We're hungry for it.
What was my other one?
Oh, let's watch Dearth get lost in real time.
Now there's a final experiment. You want to see another one?
Sure.
Yeah, Dave.
So
Sure.
Where is my other one?
Where's my other one?
What was my other one?
What was my other one?
I thought it was here.
I thought it was here.
Well, my other one is
Death's having a stroke, everybody.
wow, where did it go?
Older Baron, I don't even get on the map. I'm over here on a fucking hot dog or something. I'm like up here somewhere on Hot Dog Australia. Racist is what it is.
Oh, that's not it. So did that make sense to you? Did you follow that completely?
I did.
100%? Yeah.
Yes.
Nope.
So they want to look at lights in the
None
sky.
of that.
The Globers only
None of it made sense, Dave, because it was all crap.
want to talk about people from thousands of years ago. You know, Eratosthenes figured it out, and they want to talk about lights in the sky.
I did.
Well, first you have to validate what these lights in the sky are, right? And we can prove.
Way ahead of you, Dave. You know all about spectroscopy. It's kind of how we do it. Bounce radar off the sun too.
That the lights in the sky aren't what they say. Well, first, the sun violates natural law, and all of the stars, not only do they violate natural.
The sun, which exists in nature, violates natural law. I nearly said national law. I had to catch myself. Australia just doesn't count on that map. I know that map is racist. Absolutely racist.
Natural law, they violate perspective. We could not see Polaris if it was 2 light months away. Light months, the distance light travels in 2 months. Because
we could not see if it was that far away, light months, but it's light years. It's ridiculous because big numbers scary. Light travels, Earth, stars are fucking bright. Really bright. It's a real thing. Also, in your nighttime, people, I'll be out there tonight at some point. It's pink moon this evening. It's not actually pink. It's named after flowers that start blooming at this particular time of year. So the pink moon won't actually look pink unless you use a filter or something on a telescope or camera. You could probably get that sort of effect, but why would you? But the moon is going to be exceptionally bright. And last night, it was awesome. It's going to be even better tonight. So get out there, touch some grass, or in my case, sand, because I'm going to head down the beach with my telescope for an hour or so. And I'm just going to be checking out the moon because it's going to be awesome. I don't have my smartphone adapter yet for my telescope, so I won't be able to take any like really good pictures, which sucks. But and even then, there won't be really good pictures, but there'll be pictures of the moon that I will take with my own gear. I'm really looking forward to that. I can start doing that from next week. But yeah, pink moon, check it out.
Because the angular size would make it smaller than the smallest star, and we wouldn't be able to see it. But they tell us it's 433 light years away.
Yeah, because it is.
Right?
Where does these numbers come from? It must be based on something.
What?
Where do these numbers come from? Like the sun is this far away, the Polaris is this far away. It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, we measured it. I say we. I didn't measure a goddamn thing. But very, very smart people, much smarter than I, certainly much smarter than you, Fantasia, all due respect, and definitely much smarter than the potato you're talking to, have measured it. We can do things like bounce radar off the sun and figure out how long that takes to get back. We can do the same thing with lasers on the moon because we've got retro reflectors up there that we can bounce lasers off and measure how long it takes that light to come back. It's very, very clever. We can measure how long it takes light to travel from an object to us, things like gravimetric lensing and all sorts of cool stuff that science can do because they know more about this shit than you or I or Dearth. Dearth's an idiot and doesn't understand it. He needs to say nah to all of it to keep his grift going. So that's all. If you actually, read a book or talk to someone intelligent, you can learn about this stuff.
it comes from mainstream science. They made it up. Basically, they said, hey.
Yeah, we just made it up. We made it up. You were all there for that conference call, right? Well, we all jumped on a Discord and were like, how far are we going to tell these idiots the sun is? And then Ty was piped up and he was like, tell them it's 20 miles. That'll be hilarious. And then Michaela was like, no. Make it 15 miles. That's even funnier. And then Big Fish was like, what if we get crazy and tell them it's like 200 billion miles away? And Bruce Wolford was pissing himself. And then Diffits was like, no, actually, 93 million miles, because it's just oddly specific enough that it sounds kind of true, and everyone will buy it. It'll be hilarious. And then Elvis Presley and Jimi Hendrix, who were there, because they're not really dead, they're part of the Illuminati, that's where they went, turned to Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin and said, hey, 93 million miles, what do you think? And then George Washington, who is now an android, he stood up and went, I declare 93 million miles. Bring me another slave whore to impregnate. And that's how we came up with 93 million miles. End of story. It's very simple, Dave. You should read a history book.
Venus is going to transit in front of the sun, right? This happens. We've seen Venus transit in front of the sun. There's lots of problems with that. And we had people watch it from New York and people watch it from California, and they started and ended at different times. Huh. So
why would that be? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, let me think. Curvature of the Earth means you see shit at different times. Maybe. Huh? Yeah, just putting it out there, Dave.
Considering that Venus is about the same size as Earth, we can calculate using some really good math how far away it is based on the start and stop time, right? Because
it's a lot more involved to measure Venus, and it was actually pretty recent, relatively speaking, that they got any kind of semi-accurate reading on the actual size of Venus. It's really difficult, but they did use transits to figure it out. You can read up on that. It's a very interesting story. But they did nail it in the end.
You know, when I say
Yes.
it's transiting in front, right? I got this. There we go. It's transiting in front, but somebody over here would see it at a different time, and somebody over
Right.
here would see it at a
Yeah.
different time, right?
Mhm.
So what's the problem with that equation? Let me give you an example of a similar equation.
Don't give us an example. You can't even spell equation. You don't know what you're talking about.
You have $1 million in your checking account right now. Tomorrow I'm going to double it.
Sweet.
And then the next day I'm going to double it again. And the next day I'm going to double it again. How much money do you have in your checking account?
8 million.
Do you?
Well, you doubled it once. That's
If I
two. You
doubled the million that you have in your bank account, right? You have
Yeah.
in your bank account, right?
Mhm.
You do? You have $1 million in your checking account?
You said I did.
Well, they said Venus is the same size as Earth.
Right.
It's an equal statement to you having $1 million in your.
You're about to tell us that the stars are angels. I'm pretty sure that's coming up. So please shut the fuck up. Well, they told you it's as far as... They didn't just make it up and tell you. People did the work. People had to wait like a fucking decade to actually do the measurements they needed to figure this out. And they did. Dedicated their life to this stuff. Whereas you just sell a shitty, poorly made data leaking app, jump on any podcast that will have you to pimp it out and piss off once a year to Costa Rica or Mexico or wherever the hell you go. I don't know. You may as well go to Narnia. I hope you've enjoyed your holidays, because based on your current behavior and your data linking app, might be the last one you can afford for a little while. GDPR regulations are enforced quite heavily in the EU, and you, my friend, are in breach. So I'll be watching that with bated breath.
Your zero interest checking account.
Got it.
Okay. So they just make shit up.
Got it.
They make shit up. So here's my other.
What do we know about flat earthers, everybody? Tell us, Dave.
Okay. So they just make shit up.
Got it.
They make shit up. So here's my other one.
This interview, podcast, whatever, with Flat Earth Dave, so far has been an absolute fucking gold mine for soundboards. I highly recommend all you content creators out there, You don't have to use voice cloning. Dave is giving you gold right here. It's awesome. Steve from Wormhaven is here. The master of the penguin sandwich himself is in the house. If you're not subscribed to Steve from Wormhaven, what the actual people, get on that. I believe he made a video quite recently about the horrible little potato man who's on the screen right now.
Be viewy.
I've broken Elmer Spud.
Be viewy.
There we
Viewy
go.
quiet. And I'm leaking data.
That's better. Thanks, Death. Moving on.
So this one involves 2 airplanes, right? So you get 2 airplanes in Chile. You fly.
That's how all airplanes fly, with their wings crossed over side by side. Dave, do you think airliners fly like Maverick and Goose did in Top Gun? They don't. Really don't. So this already sucks. He's going to have him leave Chile, fly all the way across Antarctica is what he's going to do. A flight that there is no need to have exist at all.
Fly to Antarctica, to the shoreline. Go to the base closest to the shoreline. Prove that you're there. You got scientists, professors, flat earthers, globe earthers. You got everyone on these airplanes, right? On both airplanes.
Okay.
And then the airplanes
with you.
fly around Antarctica. They say the circumference.
Meet Poet's Dad. That's an air catamaran, you uncultured galoot. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. An air catamaran. I fucking love it. Do they come with a trapeze like the water catamarans? So you can hang off the side and look cool? Moving on.
Circumference is 10,000 miles. So at 500 miles per hour, it would take 10 hours to go halfway around. 5,000 miles, 500 times 10 hours. So the planes would fly and land right there. Now, if the Earth is a globe and this is the size of Antarctica, yes, it could go there. The problem is that doesn't prove that the Earth is a globe, right? If this is what it would look like on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth, you fly from Chile to Antarctica. You prove that you're there, right? The circumference is estimated to be 68,000 miles. So at 500 miles an hour to go halfway around, it would take 68 hours. So the planes would fly 68 hours. That's a big difference than 10 hours, right?
Yes.
So we can even give them some wiggle room. We can give them some headwind room. We can give them anything. Now, I want these planes to fly right off the shoreline at just a couple thousand feet so we can see the whole time, right? And it should be light the whole time. He
doesn't want much, does he? At least he's actually putting shit out there. Like, I'll give the Spud credit. He's had an idea. Is it a good idea? No. No, it isn't. It's garbage. Would it absolutely crush flat Earth? Yeah. Yeah, it would. But essentially what he's saying is if the Earth is a globe, we can fly a plane from one side of Antarctica over here. We can fly them all the way to the other side. Just go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. You can go around like this and have them both meet up at the other side. Okay, good idea. It takes about 5 hours. You can fuel up a plane for that. It's going to cost you a couple of $100,000, if not over a couple of million to fuel a plane up with and put some flatties and some globers on it and scientists and whatever the hell else he's talking about. It's going to cost an absolute fucking fortune. Your app's not going to pay for that, Dave. But you could totally do it. The problem is, if he's right and he gets them making this same flight and the Earth is flat, basically he's saying if the Earth is a globe, everybody on those planes gets to live. But if he's right and the Earth is actually flat, given that you're flying around the circumference of Antarctica, there's nowhere to make an emergency landing, there's nowhere to stop and refuel. If the Earth is flat, everybody on these planes is going to die. So he's basically asking everybody to conduct this experiment and literally put their lives on the line. Because it's going to end in a fiery ball of devastation, tragedy, and destruction, which is what we predict for flat Earth anyway. But that's essentially the crux of his inquiry here, which works for us. Earth's a globe. Everybody lives. It's high stakes. I'll give it that. Illusion. Oh, round of applause for Illusion. Dude, trailer park disco around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Lovely. Lovely. It is a kind of important factor, Michaela, that I think he's missed. Never seen a passenger airplane refueled in midair. Combat aircraft, sure, but not passenger aircraft. Yes. I've seen it happen in movies. They refueled Air Force One in the sky, as I recall, in a couple of different flicks. I think it was, let me think. Was it in Air Force One they did that? The movie with Harrison Ford? Can't remember. And I think they were doing it in the Steven Seagal action movie where he got killed in like the first 5 minutes. Spoilers. Executive Decision. Saw that movie in the cinema. It's funny. Slim Shady Potato. Nicely done.
If you do it in December, near the solstice, right? If the Earth is a globe, right?
But Dave, you can't do your flight. It'll get dark because you said the 24-hour sun is fake. So how are you going to watch the planes even if they're flying at a few thousand feet? Because your contention is that the 24-hour sun isn't real. Now you're banking on it to carry out your potentially fatal experiment. Oh, we've just named it. Oh, I'm going to turn this into a video where Flat Earth Dave has proposed not the final experiment. You will know where I'm going with this. The fatal experiment. Coming soon. Let's make the size. I can't do it. The fatal experiment. Coming soon. From Potato Man Studios. There we go. Yeah, see, Charles got it.
The problem is that doesn't prove, again, no. So the flat Earth one, 68 hours, that's never going to happen because if the Earth is flat, there's no plane that can make that flight. They have to do in-air fueling, right? So it's not going to happen, which is why it hasn't happened, right? What if the Earth was set up?
Okay, so wait. So it's final, right? Foxworth Kenman. Fucking love it. I love it. So he's saying here's a proper experiment to put it to bed, except it doesn't prove anything. So if the flight is like 5 hours, which the globe predicts, that doesn't prove that the Earth is a globe. And if it takes any less than 68 hours, which Flat Earth predicts, it doesn't prove the Earth is a globe because you can't fly a plane for that long anyway. So what are we talking about? What is he talking about? Buy a round the world plane ticket. There you go. We're all going for instance. He can't afford to. He's going to have to pay some pretty hefty legal fees.
Like this, and go back. What if the Earth was set up like this, and the base that they go to is right here? Well, they can easily circumnavigate and go around here and say, yeah, we just went around Antarctica. And the base off of South Africa is right here. And the base off of Australia is right here or here, right? One of these, right? How would you know? How would you know? Look, this is bigger. This little guy is bigger than the United States. Okay. So you don't know. That's like landing in Long Island.
The United States is there. That little guy is smaller than your United States, sir. Significantly so. Also, all of these things around the outside, around the outside, around the outside, none of those exist. That's all made up. Was this the world map made 10 centuries ago? No, it wasn't. That was somebody who was drawing an AE map and then spilled fucking corn chips everywhere and it got photocopied or something. But this isn't a real map, Dave. It's horseshit. It's garbage. There was also a super chat. Steve from Wernhaven for 10 whole Ukrainian shekels, I believe, is the currency. How did those 80,000 other continents get sunlight? His sky clock about shows the sun never leaving the Antarctic ring. So are they in perpetual darkness? That's a very good question. And the answer, I suspect, can be found in the 2025 exclusive Joe Hanvey collection from our friends at Tupperware. For the low price of $199.95, you can get all 37 domed pieces of Tupperware with lids, because everything needs a container. We'll also throw in a juicer. We'll throw in a vegetable crisper and a salad spinner for just $199.95. That is the Joe Hanvey exclusive 2025 Tupperware collection. Everybody jump in your favorite image generation software. I fully intend to make that commercial a reality over the next couple of weeks. That's right. We're going to run fake Flurf infomercials during the Stupid Stuff Sunday streams. I've just decided. So there is that. What the fuck are we talking about? It doesn't matter. Moving on.
About knowing what's going on in California. You don't know anything. You don't even know that that Long Island Sound separates you from the rest of the country. Okay? You don't know anything. So the trick is you then have to fly to, whoops, I went the wrong way. You
sure did.
You then have to fly
Flat Earth, Dave. Always
to
the wrong way.
Australia. Okay, right? And on a flat Earth, it would look like this, right? So if the Earth was flat, it would take even longer because you'd have to fly back to Antarctica. It would be over 68 hours to get back, right? You wouldn't be able to get to Australia because if you went here, back it up a little bit. There we go. So if you went here and then you flew around and landed over here and go, Earth is a globe, you have to go to Australia now. Well, where's Australia? It's all the way over here. Okay? You can't get there. You can't get there.
What? First of all, this bullshit map is like completely the opposite way round to the other one that he was showing to make it look like everything's further. He also just showed with the AE map that when they fly around the outside, they both planes on his little animation end up right next door to Australia. And then he showed the planes going to Australia. It was just a short little hop on a flat Earth. And then he's like, but on a flat Earth, this flight is even longer. No, that's not what you showed, Dave. This doesn't make any sense. You're not even lying correctly anymore. You're getting your own lies wrong. Do you think he wears this stupid as this t-shirt as a reminder to himself that you're not stupid? The globe is stupid. We've got our own version of that on the store in case anybody was wondering. In honor of the Potato Man himself, you can get your own. I'll keep the fatal experiment up there for now. Actually, we'll just shrink that away. You can get your very own "You're Not Stupid, Dearth is Stupid" t-shirt, just to remind everybody around you and the general public that they're not stupid. They're not, but Dearth absolutely is, and we're seeing it happen before our very eyes. So you can get it in t-shirt form. I suggest the hot pink. It's rather fetching, especially for you gentlemen, because hot pink is for everyone. It's not a girl's color. It's just a color, and you can get a hoodie as well. It's going to be winter here soon in Australia, even while it's summer up in the northern hemisphere, because globe. But you can get that one in purple, which I think is really sexy. And also the yellow. Piss yellow for flirfs. There you go. You're not stupid. Dearth is stupid. Available in the DP Debunks store. Don't go and buy one. If you are tempted to go and buy one, chuck the money towards Austin's Hydrogen Alpha telescope, which you can see right next door. Here he is, hanging out with me, my old mate. Melodome. Lovely stuff. All right, back to the fucking nonsense.
Without flying around the ice, which is super long. If there is ice all the way around, we don't even know. We don't even know. No one's allowed out there.
Oh, this again. No one's allowed out there. You're not allowed to go. I don't care you're in Antarctica, but you're not allowed to go. You're a big bad gum. You're allowed to go, dipshit. You totally are. Absolutely can. Only thing stopping you is resources and balls. Just some big old balls is all you got to have, Dave. You can go down there and you can check it out for yourself. Or take Jaren's advice. Remember Jaren, your old friend Jaren that you blocked everywhere and won't talk to because everything he's saying is a big, big problem for the flat earth cult. You can take his advice. You don't even have to jump on a plane and fly across Antarctica or do any of the bullshit you've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. All you got to do is around that time, like the 14th, 15th of December, $1,500, jump on a plane from Connecticut or wherever the hell you are on the planet, and go down to Chile and stand out there and watch a sunset. It happens in the opposite direction to what you see up in the north. That's a problem. And also really, really late into the night, you can still see the haze of the sunset, which indicates that, it's not going to set for you in Antarctica. It stays light for a long, long time. Even in Chile, which isn't even in Antarctica. They're two different places, Dave, in case you weren't sure. They're not the same place at all. I'm glad I could help with that. But you can absolutely take that trip and there's no penguins with guns or anything else stopping you. You won't because you're a coward, but you could. Totally could. Even Whitsitt did that. And Whitsitt doesn't do anything. He was just luggage, but he was there.
So this is another final experiment that will never happen. The first one I show you can happen in one day. It just...
Yeah, because it's a globe. Bruce Wolford, I visited a farm recently to buy some veggies. The farmer tossed in some potatoes. Quick as a flash, I said, "Oh, hello, Dave. You need a wash, old mate." Oh, lovely work. Bruce Wolford. Fantastic stuff. Love it.
Needs one airplane, a nice big airplane, so we can have TV crews, film crews, podcasters, scientists, MIT professors.
Dave really does think that the whole world cares about this shit, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He thinks if he put this together, he could have every news agency. You'd have CNN, you'd have Fox News. You wouldn't have Fox News because we're talking about legitimate news agencies, but like the BBC, National Geographic, like everyone from everywhere, the world's top scientists, all the celebrities, everybody from the globe side, everybody from flat earth, presidents and royalty are going to want to be on this plane to see a stupid experiment. Dave, let me tell you something. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. For a majority of the planet, this is not a thing. It's really not. And your numbers are dwindling. They're dying off. You're a dying breed, Dave. Flat earthers are an endangered species because science is winning. Do you know why? Because it's right. Yeah. Just wanted to share that with you. But nobody would give a toss about this experiment. You're not going to get a big plane to go because of the cost. At best, you might be able to swing a Cessna or something like that, like a little 8-seater or something, but you're not going to have a private jet to do this, you idiot. You're an absolute tool. You could probably do it in a helicopter. Maybe. I don't know. Nobody cares.
Professors, everyone's on there, and we verify the whole thing in one day. One day. Never happened because it'll prove that we don't live on a globe.
So,
but you just said it would. Just said it would. We don't even need to do that, Dave. Just wait a week or so for all the footage from Frame 2. Just wait for that. Like 8K, beautiful footage from a polar to polar orbit. First one ever that humans have undertaken, which is pretty epic. And footage from 500 kilometers up of the south and the northern regions of the planet, which human eyeballs have never seen before. It's going to be awesome. Heaps more video still to come, and it's going to be epic. You're going to claim it's all fake and it's all CGI because you're a moron and you have to. I, for one, can't wait to see everything that comes out of Frame 2. It's going to be epic. You know, you could just pay. You could probably get a seat on a SpaceX Dragon and recreate Frame 2 for less than this bullshit experiment would cost. Just putting it out there.
In the final experiment, they did invite big name people, flat Earth people, to be there. And I know one of them,
Aaron.
I can't remember the guy's name, said I was wrong.
Yeah,
and another one, Austin Whitsitt, he still maintains it's, you know, I don't know what happened here, but it's still a flat Earth. How do you, what gets me about that is the logic, you know.
I feel like she was about to ask how do you sleep at night. Tell me I'm wrong, people. Let's hear this again.
You know, I don't know what happened here, but it's still a flat Earth. What gets me about that is the logic. You know, on one hand, you have somebody who, I think that.
Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at about 47 pounds from the grand old land of Liverpool in the UK, the one and only Dave McKeegan is in the chat. Hi, Dave. How you doing? Fuck my life. Why am I waking up to the sight of sexy death? Thanks, Debunks, you bastard. I live to give. Mr. McKeegan, you are eternally welcome. Consider that revenge for your shenanigans of jumping onto Creaky Stream with your daughter and showing Rusty. Again, just drumming up votes for top left. Shenanigans, you monster. Also, don't forget, get over to the Ratzoid video by Where's Wally, who's also been hanging out in the chat with us here. Sorry, Where's Wally. We all love you. We just hate Ratzoid. Get on over to his video. Change your thumbs up to a thumbs down. It's a 30 vote turnaround. You can do the same for Scum, and you can do the same for Whitsitt the Platypus, and downvote all of them to get them out of the running for top left, because even joke awards, we don't want them winning because they are human garbage. If you're going to vote yes for anybody in top left 2025, make sure you vote for the awesome video that Divid's made for Dearth the Potato. If you're going to vote for two, make the other one King Nico, the Juicebox King himself. Get onto that. Anyway, back to this bullshit.
Austin Whitsitt said, okay, if there's a 24-hour sun, then I'm wrong. But he gets there, he sees the 24-hour sun, and he still doesn't believe it. So you could say that that's just, you know, he's just won't believe the evidence no matter what.
Holy shit. That might be the toughest question Dearth has ever been asked during a DER presentation. Well done, Fantasia. Round of applause for that, because that was awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, spin on. Let's see what Dearth's got to say about this. She essentially just called Whitsitt a liar. And kind of a backhanded way of saying exactly the same thing about Dearth. Let's see where this goes.
Well, what evidence? We're seeing a light in the sky that defies natural law. How does gas exist in a vacuum, right?
It doesn't matter, Dearth. It does not matter. The fact that you're talking about what the sun is, regardless of the fact that it makes you look like an absolute moron, pretending that you don't know what it is, like that's very much a you problem. Regardless of its composition or anything else, the globe predicted that sun would circle around that area for 24 hours a day. And that's exactly what it did. The flat Earth prediction was that that sun had to set in Antarctica. There couldn't be a 24-hour sun. No false dichotomy, no false binary option, anything else. That was the claim. That was your claim specifically. And guess what happened? The sun circled for 24 hours and you changed the tune. You were playing as the Pied Piper for all your fellow pizza planeteers faster than I drank this delicious bottle of Bundaberg Diet Ginger Beer. They're not a sponsor of the channel. They should be. Hit me up, Bundaberg. I can help you out. I've already turned people overseas onto this stuff. You're missing out on an export gold mine. And I could be doing you a real solid. Countryman to countryman. We're all Australian here. And you're ignoring me. What the fuck? But anyway, point stands. That's a liar. And he's now towing the lights in the sky and prove the shape of the earth script. Because he's a dick.
The entire heliocentric hypothesis is ridiculous. When I say ridiculous, I mean the other R word. It's so stupid. Okay.
The other R word, that would be right. Right is the R word you're thinking of. That would make them right. Dave, you can say it. It's fine.
But people just want to believe it because they were told.
Right,
Oh, sun is a sun. It's hydrogen, helium in a space vacuum. You can't have hydrogen and helium in a space vacuum. It doesn't work.
Can and do. And does. So, yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying looking at all the evidence.
You have to look, all of the other garbage comes with it, right? Seasons, right? You have to believe that the tilt of the earth is causing the seasons, right? And where are you? You're in the US, right?
Dave, your claim is that the seasons are due to God basically running a little Thomas the Tank Engine play railroad set. And when it's time to change the seasons, he just pulls the lever and gets the sun to fucking change tracks and go around a different tropic. You dickhead. That's your claim. And that no matter where you are on Earth, the sun has to be moving in the same direction all the time, even though it doesn't in the south. Dave, have you ever been to the southern hemisphere? Ever? In your life? You need to take that trip. It'll blow your fucking mind. That, and I really, really want to see you get kicked in the testicles by an angry kangaroo, or to get shat on by an ambivalent koala. That would be great. You ever seen a potato holding a koala before? Maybe that should be our fundraiser. Get Dave to Australia, because we've got a bunch of dangerous animals here. Those two things aren't connected. I was just making two different statements that Dearth should come to Australia, and Australia has some of the deadliest animals on the planet. Those two things not connected. I'm just saying two completely disparate things. If you put them together, that's on you. But YouTube, I didn't do that. Okay? Totally separate things.
Right? Where are you? What state?
Yes.
What
Virginia.
State? So you're Virginia, so it doesn't get that cold in Virginia, but in Connecticut, we had a below freezing, many days, right? And they say it's just because of the tilt of the earth, because, the sun's here and,
Megan has, Megan, I apologize. Megan has dropped the link in the chat. I highly recommend everybody go and watch that one. It's a really good video. I have seen it before, Megan, and it is great. Someone who actually flies aeroplanes. So Dearth would find it quite educational. He won't watch it. Meat Payments Tad, TFE 2026. Dave gets injured by a drop bear. Yeah, I mean, fuck me if that video would get like a ton of views. That's instant top left 2026 winning entry right there. Dave just getting mauled by a drop bear.
Connecticut is just tilted away a little bit. And so the sun has to travel going in at another angle, but the sun's closer in our winter and farther in our.
I'm calling it right now. That globe, that one right there is fake. Look, CGI, green screen, shenanigans. It's right there. Dirty tricks, Dearth. How dare you?
Summer. right? But I was in Mexico, just a couple thousand miles away, just a little farther over, and it was 90 degrees. Okay. And it was 80 degrees at sunrise. So when the sun is far tilted away from hitting me directly, it's super warm. And then at noon in Connecticut, when the sun is much more direct and closer, it's below freezing, right? If you can.
Below freezing. Outrageous. That is. Let's just do a little bit of, oh, God damn it. Are you for real? I'm for real. I was going to go to Google Earth. We can do it anyway. We'll do it here. I reinstalled Windows on that computer, and it's all a bit cooked. Let's get started. I want to explore Earth is what I want to do. Take me to Connecticut. Connecticut. I spelt it wrong, but it still gets me there. Off we go. Yay! Into Dearth country. There we go. Right. So he's in Connecticut. It's below freezing. And then Mexico, which is just a little bit further south, according to Dearth. Just a little bit further south. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I would like to add a place mark for Connecticut. Show me Connecticut. Go here. Just fucking go there. Add the place mark. Right there. Just do the thing. There we go. Okay. And now take me to Mexico. Take me to Mexico, SA. Whee! Even if we come up here to the border. That, it's pretty fucking far, just quietly. That's a fair way to go. How could it possibly be that the weather over here in Connecticut could be so different to what's going on in Mexico? Never mind the fact that predominantly, you know, this is all pretty green and right near the coastline. And then if we go to El Mexico down here, I'm not a scientist, but a lot of this looks a shit ton like desert, which happens a lot through this region of the United States, like Las Vegas and some of New Mexico, Phoenix, Texas has a lot of desert area. Isn't that weird how the weather could be so different? I'm sure Flat Earth has a perfectly good explanation for that. When the sun, you know, just passes over and over and over at the same time. But yeah, crazy stuff. What a dick.
You're going to wrap your mind around this. It's absolute garbage. It's garbage. The way that the
Flat Earth is garbage.
I was on a TikTok live before I got on here. And I said, how is it possible that this argument is still going on? Like, and from a flat.
Fuck me, Dave. Welcome to our world. Because we ask that all the time. How is it possible that anyone can listen to you and think that makes sense? Or that, all right, yep, fine, Earth is flat. We've been asking that question a long time. A long time.
Flat earther side of point of view, right? And the answer is because people don't know how to think.
Yeah.
Isn't it scary how Dearth can sometimes say the right thing for the wrong reasons? Like, people don't know how to think. Like, and honestly, Dearth, thank you for the first 24 minutes of this presentation, giving us such a valuable, practical demonstration of exactly that. Really well done. Really well done. We appreciate it.
People aren't able to think below surface level thoughts. So I don't know what happened to Jaron, but something happened to him. He literally, because of one observation of a Narnia object that defies natural law, he's thrown out 10 years of stuff, right? I don't know what happened. I can't speculate what happened to him. But then 3 other flat earthers that were kind of just in retirement pretty much, were just like not talking flat earth. They all came out on the same day. They flipped with the exact same script, the exact same talking points. Weird, right? But all 3 of them were involved in pushing a crypto coin several years ago. They had their own show that stopped abruptly when the SEC came after them. And so they were never charged, right? Because a lot of people, including myself, lost significant amounts of money. And each one of those violations comes with 25 years in prison.
Nope. All of that is wrong, Death. That's all bullshit. You might, I'm just getting a sponsor that Michaela sourced for us. There we go. Bundaberg, a brew drink, probably sponsors of the Debunkatorium and DP Debunks right there. There we go. They'll just sit there pimping us out. Yeah, that's bullshit. This is what we call dearth, telling some lies and, slandering other people. And in doing so, not complying with a cease and desist request that he received along with Mark Sargent and Marty Leeds. You're probably going to be staring down the barrel of yet another lawsuit, Dearth, very, very soon. Incidentally, still have the screenshot, which I'll be keeping forever, of one of the parties mentioned in this tirade of absolute bullshit, Patricia Steer, saying that she loves my videos. So in your face, everybody. Me and Patricia Steer are besties now. So, suck at Dearth. And especially, suck at Morky Sargent, you tool. She loves me more than she'd ever loved you.
Consecutive, right?
Wow.
Perhaps, I can't think of a better explanation, that they were told that they need to flip, have these talking points. They came out with the same talking points on the same day, throwing out everything. 2 of them were devout Christians, and they were in.
They came out with saying exactly the same things on the same day. They each wrote their own farewell to flat earth letters, Dave. And, them having things that correspond or borrowing the same line, it's almost as if they might have spoken to each other, and one of them, having read the other party's letter, said, "That's great. Do you mind if I use that as I get the fuck out of this cult?" And they went, "Yeah, sure. Knock yourself out." And that's what they did. As described to all of us by Jaron, who you're saying something happened to. Something did happen to Jaron. You're right, Dave. Something did. He had a pair of balls attached to his body, some testicular fortitude, or so that we're not being overly sexist, because we shouldn't be, some guts. Okay, some guts. All right. He got on a plane, went to Antarctica, and saw the 24-hour sun. Something you refused to do. You absolute coward. He put his beliefs to the test, and his beliefs were found wanting. That's what happened to Jaron. He woke the fuck up, and he was honest about what he saw, unlike your mate Whitsett. So there's that.
In Jaron's chats, like Jaron's doing this anti-flat earth stream, and they were in the chat, the 3 of them were in the chat supporting him before the show even started. Jaron is the most anti-Christian person on earth. He said that Jesus Christ could S his effing D, okay, on a.
I'm not sure Jaron would be classed as the most anti-Jesus person on earth. I'm sure there's more anti-Jesus people on earth. And even if Jaron did say that Jesus could S his F and D, which just quietly I find objectively funny, I'm sure I've said worse at some point, and I'll say worse yet. So who cares? This from a non-practicing Jew who accuses everybody of being demons and whatever else, while lying and grifting and scamming vulnerable people. People in glass houses, Dearth, or rather potatoes in glass houses, should not be throwing stones.
On a show, right? And that he said worse things, right? And so these Christians that have just thrown out everything the Bible says, now they're saying the earth is a ball spinning in space, are they supporting him? It is clear that those three are being motivated by, in my opinion, I have no proof other than all of the proof, right? Will Duffy, he also has a major SEC.
Dearth, finish a thought. Finish a thought. Yes, lots of projection incoming tiles. Anytime he talks about Will Duffy, he's very jealous that Will's actually wealthy. And Dearth is not, because he's a grifting, lying potato asshole. We're going to take a short break because I need to pee. I need to get more delicious Bundaberg brewed beverage, probably a sponsor of the stream. Bundaberg ginger beer for all your ginger beery needs. Get that into you and tell them your old mate DP sent you. They won't know what it means, but it'd make me giggle thinking that that was a thing that actually happened somewhere on the planet. We are going to take a breather. While we take a breather, we'll have some tunes. I think. What do we want to hear? Do you want to hear? I don't care. I'm going to play whatever I want. I will play something very, very fitting. And when we come back, we'll get back into the Derp Fest for a little bit. We probably won't finish this one off. There's no point. We know what he's going to say. And I'm getting tired just quietly. But this has been fun. We'll be back soon. See you in a second. In the meantime, speaking of dirty money, we've all heard of dirty money. And this is what Dearth is accusing other people of receiving. But have you heard of dirty money?
Yeah. Let's talk a fourth call every month. It's scary. He's a caterpillar dope. There's a man selling lies and his name is Dirt. He's a liar and a scammer. He's just the worst. Human conspiracy says Earth is flat, while it's not believed or not us. What's up with that? Dirty money flooding in real fast. Gotta keep grifting, talks out of his ass. Truth don't matter if the app cash flows. Another day, another sucker, man, that's how it goes. Download my app, yeah, he swears it's great, but it leaks like a scythe. Check your doors and gates, selling snake oil wisdom and shitty memes. But if you question him, he's running from the scene. Oh, sifting money on a bed of lies. Jury called him out, so he just cut ties. He's cool if the world knows where you live. He don't care about you, zero fucks to give. He's got his mouth all twisted, claims NASA's fake, but showing real physics, and he hits the brakes. Don't ask for facts, don't check his math. Just give him your wallet, buy me walk his path. He says, trust me, bro, my app is fine, but there's unhashed passwords, damn, what a fine. He ain't sharing secrets, all his derp is lame. A con man, douchebag, just playing the game. Oh, dirty money built on fear and doubt. He's just selling you nonsense and cashing out. Truth don't matter, don't ask him why. Flat Earth's just a business, he's milking the lie. Flat Earth app, though it uses the globe. Seriously, don't download it, but if you already did, your data is already leaked. Get a refund and leave that shit. What the fuck, dude? Pull it. Don't download Derp's app, don't believe a word he says. Derp Earth is a scammer. Love the Dave is a grifter. He's lying to you, screw Derp, screw this guy. Hope he gets thrown into oblivion of sucks. Fuck you, Barrett, and fuck your app. Data looking, con man, grifting, asshole. Potato looking, con man, grifting, asshole. Potato looking con man, grifting asshole. Potato looking con man, grifting asshole.
Hells yeah. Dirty money, ladies and gentlemen. Hot off the presses. What were we doing? Watching a thing. Right. Here we go.
Violations. He's already paid $500,000 in fines, and he has another $500,000 in fines that come with jail time. And these
No, he doesn't. They're called settlements, Dearth. You're telling lies. FPV XTC. I am drinking a diet ginger beer. I have not been able to locate sugar-free Bundaberg ginger beer. I don't think it exists. Also, in the alcoholic variety from Matsos or James Squire are the two I'm partial to. There are low sugar options or lower sugar options, not sugar-free, of the alcoholic species of ginger beer, which are very, very nice, but no sugar-free as yet. But I'm looking.
Fines were these charges were put against him in June, the latest ones in June.
Steve, you should have Potato Death as an emoji. We've got a couple. There's this one. I'm going to pop them in chat. There's this one. And there's this one. Bigger boom. The photorealistic one. Oh, God, no. That thing is nightmare fuel. Absolute nightmare fuel. Basically, I'm turning this stream, Steve, into a friggin' cartoon show is what it is. I'm recreating, slowly but surely, Agro's Cartoon Connection is the mission here. So, yeah. Right. Spin it on.
June. And all he cares about is settling the final debate, right? That's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird, right? And again,
not really, because those issues are done and dusted, Dave. Like, it has no, that's his business. It has no relevance on his activities around the final experiment or anything else. It's a hobby. Unlike you, he hasn't, like, hitched his wagon entirely to this crap, nor have I or MC Toon or really anyone else. We can do other stuff. It's easy. But, yeah, who the hell cares? You're going after, like, character assassination because you don't have anything of substance to say about the science or facts. So, yeah. As Megan said, straight up slander. Straight up slander.
Science says you need to do an observation 3 times. You have different variables, right? This is one observation of a light in the sky.
Hear that, everybody? Science says you have to do an observation 3 times. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to hold this guitar pick, this one. I'm going to hold that up in the air so I can't see the sun. I'm going to do that 3 times. And then I can come back online and tell all of you that the sun is actually a guitar pick. And you won't be able to disprove it because you'll be able to observe it. You'll be able to repeat it or replicate it. Okay? And that's science, according to Dearth. We're gonna change the world this week.
Could be fake, could be an anomaly. There's several models. If you look into syncretism, right? There's all sorts of models for it. And that could explain it. And you can't discount them because they are far less crazy than the heliocentric hypothesis.
Except they've got no scientific basis at all, Dearth. That's the problem. They're all magic land. And much like CC...
I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No one knows what you're talking about, Dave. It's all garbage. Absolute bullshit. There's only so much of Dearth you can take. We're not even halfway through this mofo. Oh.
Well, I'm glad you brought up a lot of things, but the religious aspect, because I have heard that flat earthers are like a religious cult, and it has something to do with being a biblical literalist versus a follower of science. And I know there's not one belief in the flat earth movement, but can you speak about that religious
There's Christians. Christians have been persecuted for all of their beliefs for all of the time of being Christians, that Jesus rose from the dead and everything that comes with it, right? So Christians have always been persecuted. Christians are everywhere. They're in every group. Nothing wrong with that. They're just everywhere. And the Bible, from page 1, God separated the Genesis. Page 1, God separated the waters from the waters and created the firmament. Every ancient religion on earth talks about that.
Except that's not what it says. And Dave, tell us you haven't read the Bible without telling us you haven't read the Bible. I believe that the generally accepted parlance in discussing le Bible is chapter and verse, not fucking page number, dipshit. Can you point me to the bit in the Bible where like Jesus dies and comes back? It's like page 47 or something, maybe 472, somewhere around there. Just flicked through. It's somewhere between like 400, 500, I think. Yeah. Isn't it chapter and verse? No. We do it by page number. Page number. Common misconception. Common. Aren't there like heaps of different versions of the Bible where they can be like different lengths? No, we just do page number. Just page number. What about the, like, you've got the King James version, but then there's like the versions that give multiple meanings for certain words to provide more context around it with different translations. Wouldn't that be longer? No, just fucking page number. Page 1 of the Bible is all you need. You just need page 1, kids.
That's a flat earth, right? That's a flat earth. So there's 200 plus verses in the Bible talking about a flat, unmovable earth. God spread out the heavens like a tent.
So now he's talking about verses. So you're inconsistent. Okay, let's see. That's eBay. We don't want to search there. How many verses in the Bible talk about the earth being flat? Dave says it's 200. Bible verses compiled. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. These are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9. 9 of them. 200 plus. I count 9, according to that website. Granted, I'm not going to go in-depth to research. I'm not going to go in-depth and research it. I'm not going to go in-depth researching this because I don't care. But yeah, 9 is the number you're looking for, Dave. Not 200 plus. You're off a little bit. A little bit. Yes, Conspiracy Music Studios, everybody, making the best flat smacking music on the planet. Round of applause for him, please. It's not going to work, is it? It's not. There we go. It's working. Yay. Wouldn't it be funny if Jesus did return and laughed at the flat earthers? You thought it said circle. It's a globe, you idiots. No heaven for you. Oh, it'd be glorious. No, he says Bruce Wilford. I think it's in Job where it says, and God set the world free to wander the heavens or something like that. It's been a while. Yeah, nobody cares, Bruce. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a storybook.
The earth does not move, right? There's nothing that mentions a sphere in the Bible, that the earth is a sphere. It says the earth is a circle.
Why might that be? Why am I applauding? That doesn't work. I was trying to find this button here to shut it up. I wonder why there's nothing in the Bible that talks about the earth being a sphere. Maybe because when it was written, they knew about the existence of maybe, if we're generous, 10% of the fucking planet. They weren't big travelers. Like, it all kind of happens in one tiny, tiny little area. You know, there's no mention of trade with China or anything like that in the Bible, or Vikings or any of that shit. But those people existed. So, you know, they didn't really travel around.
Well, the definition
I didn't applaud myself. It was an accident, Tori. That doesn't count. If you claim that on your bingo card, you're disqualified.
Are equidistant from a center point. That's a circle. Okay? The circle of the earth. The sun circles Polaris, right? And so when you say it's a religious cult,
the sun circles Polaris. The sun circles Polaris.
Absolutely not. I was anti all religions. I don't know. I was, anyone that mentions Jesus, the Bible, the Quran, anything, I'd like, you're a nut. I'm not listening to anything you say. And then when I discovered scientifically that the earth is a level non-rotating plane, I had to start acknowledging the stuff in the Bible and the.
Okay. There's so much wrong with that statement. It's going to take a little while to unpack. But the base version is Dave, you've never proven anything scientifically about flat Earth because you don't understand anything to do with science, as evidenced by your proposed fatal experiment, which is still objectively funny, but also lethal potentially. Yeah, nothing in the Bible supports your position. So just stop it. Stop it.
The Quran and all of these other flat Earth books. They're all flat Earth books.
They're all flat Earth books.
So you're saying that they're related but don't really have anything to do with each other. So just because you're a Christian and believe in the Bible doesn't mean that you're a flat earther and vice versa.
Well, no, the thing is, if you're a Christian and you're not a flat earther, you're a churchian. You're not a Christian. You're just someone that follows,
Okay.
the stuff in the church, because the Bible is, show me a verse in the Bible that is, that says the earth is a globe, a planet, it's absolutely insanity. It's insanity when you.
I agree. The Bible is insanity. That's what I'm hearing anyway. A lot of people with hot takes on the Bible. I didn't see a commandment that said thou shalt believe in flat earth. You're probably on the wrong page number, Chris. It's all done by page numbers. If you're looking for chapter and verse, apparently you're doing it wrong. Stephen Wormhaven, the Old Testament, written in Hebrew, was literally written in a language that has open interpretive meanings for words, because it's a text you're supposed to interpret throughout your whole life, and you get many different valuable lessons along the way. Exactly. It's like listening to music. When you're a kid, a little kid, if you listen to Radiohead, you're probably going to be bored out of your fucking brain. It won't resonate or make any sense to you at all. When you're a teenager, you're probably going to identify pretty heavily with the song called Creep, because everybody does, between the ages of about 14 to 29. And then after that, you'll probably get into like Karma Police and everything else, because you've had kids, you've got married, maybe divorced, you've got a full-time job, and you're going to be depressed as fuck. And that's when you get into the majority of the Radiohead catalog. That's how it works. The Bible is kind of the same. The way you read it as a child is going to be very, very different to how it resonates with you as an adult, because you learn more, you have more experience, and you get a bit more perspective on it. That said, some people, like myself, can look at the Bible and take it as a series of parables and stories that sometimes have meaning and sometimes have none whatsoever. And it really doesn't matter. As for the Bible being the inspired word of God, why is so much of it so fucking boring? Like, we spend a long time just like, and from da-da-da begat blah, 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 and from blah, blah, blah begat blah, 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 and then begat blah, 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 and then begat blah, blah, blah. It's like Lord of the Rings. Like, it's just a lot of walking. A lot of walking. Probably didn't need it all. Anyway, moving on.
When you look at it. So saying it's a cult, it's not a cult. We are.
What a cult would say, Dave. It's like Cult 101. Just make sure you tell everybody it's not a cult. It absolutely is a cult. You've been spouting cultisms all night, and you are one of the leaders of the cult. And that may be a typo. Maybe throw an N in there and replace the L. Aldebaran 4. That's how it was with Jimi Hendrix. As a kid, you can't understand his music. As an adult, it just makes your mind boggle at what he did. Yes, especially if you play guitar. That guy's an asshole. No one should be able to do what he did, much like Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's baffling and incredible. It's amazing. Conspiracy Music Studios, YouTube. Excuse me. That was disgusting. YouTube is censoring me. My most intelligent, but of course comments do not show in DP Debunks feed. I'm seeing stuff. I am, for reals. I've had a few disappear though when I've said swears. I can't say MF. I can't say Muda Fuger. In chat, it eats a comment. It just went away. So I don't know what that's about. But yeah, it happens. Might have used a bad word. Yeah. But we're seeing all the other ones. Conspiracy Music Studios. So don't stress. We can all see you. And we love you. All Bibles are flat earth books, but flat earth isn't a cult. A valid question, Aldebaran. I'm wondering that myself. Shut up, Aldebaran, seeing SRV twice in concert. That's not fair. I never got to. So, meh. You suck. I am going to see Gary Clark Jr. on Tuesday night, though.
my podcast, the Flat Earth podcast, when I was doing it, my co-host was Matt Long, and he comes from the Bible side. He comes from the Bible side, right? And I come from the scientific side, because you can show a Bible proof that the earth is flat and stationary and doesn't move. And somebody that doesn't believe in the Bible is just going to be like, yeah, big deal. Your fairy tale book says this. So what? But if you show a scientific proof, then anyone, doesn't matter if you're religious or not, you have to look at that science, right? And then you have.
Yeah, we're still waiting for a scientific proof, Dearth. It's been 10 years. Can't say you haven't had time, but we're still waiting for one that actually works and doesn't contradict something else about your flat Earth pizza planet. You got an ETA on that anytime soon? It's been a decade. Asking for a friend.
Have to start making up stories for why the Bible isn't correct.
So you didn't start out as a believer. Was there one thing that made you go, okay, I can't do this anymore? It's fine.
No, she said it. Let's just hear that again, because I'm on board with this.
As a believer, was there one thing that made you go, okay, I can't do this anymore? It's flat.
Yeah, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. We're done with Dearth for tonight. We're about halfway through. We might pick this up next Sunday and there's something more fun happens between now and then. But that'll do, Dearth-wise, for now. I just can't. But what we will do is have a look at Morky Pig. Psych. It's not Morky Pig. It's Creepy Sexy Dearth, everybody. Oh, yeah. Creepy Sexy Dearth. Break it down. I'm working on a theme tune. I do have a Creepy Sexy Dearth song. But I'm not gonna play it. Because it needs a music video. And I haven't made one yet. It takes time. These things take time. I'm going to have to bounce, kids, because I've got a little Boston Terrier down there on the floor. Tiny little Lily with a squishy face. I've got live chat selected on my screen, I think. Let me check. If I... no, it wasn't live chat. I'm just swapping it over. Yeah, it's good now. It's all good. It's just reloaded. Sorry about the big grey box there. It's 3:30 a.m. for Chris German Spy. Thank you for showing us the puppet. I don't have a puppet. It's a real Boston Terrier. She's a real dog. She's sleeping, but she's very hungry. She was supposed to eat ages ago, and I've been talking to you lot, so I do need to feed her. What I can show you... Pupper. That makes more sense. Thanks, Michaela. Next time, Gadget, but she's sleeping. What I will do is show you the thingy that holds my tablet and my phone on the desk because it's awesome. Here you go. There it is. It's Deadpool, and he hangs onto it at the back. So you get your telephone or tablet, and you put it on that, and he holds it just like that for you. How cool is that? He's looking a bit cheeky, like he's ready to take one for the team, as it were. So yeah, there's that. I've been using that to test out the guest situation. Put my tablet there, and that becomes the screen for the guest screen and everything else. I will get Lily to make an appearance because I'm going to feed her in a minute, so I need to get her up out of her bed. 1 second. Yes. Here she comes. It's a Lily. It's a Lilliput. There she is. Say hello, Lils. She's just woken up. And she's very sleepy. And she's so hungry. She's dying. Look how sad she is. He hasn't fed me, everybody. I'm so sad. Somebody save me. Look how cute. Look how cute. Aww. What a sweetheart. She snuggled into my arm. Now. She's the best. You're the best, aren't you? Yes. Okay. Say bye, Lils. Oh, you cheeky bugger. Mwah. Oh, you're smelly. You're so smelly. Oh. Now that we've got that out of the way, I am Going to bounce, people. Apologies for if chat messages were messaging. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's hot in here. I need to turn my aircon on. It's quite temperate. Goodness me. But yeah, this has been fun. I would apologize for inflicting dearth upon you all, but you know what you did. And that's what you get. I am working on more plans. Don't forget, Flipper Flatty. If you want to come up with like a short little stinger, 15 to 30 second stinger for Flipper Flatty, the intro to that segment, feel free. Also, jump over to the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out massively. Go and get on there. It is like the hottest thing on Discord right now is what I'm told by myself in the mirror every morning. Everyone's having a great time. It's taken on a life of its own. I'm already at the point where I'm struggling to keep up, which is great because you're all having a laugh and I'm absolutely here for it. Things that are coming up very soon. Keep an eye out for top left announcements, which should be happening pretty soon. Don't forget to go and remove any thumbs ups from Flatzoid, Witsit, and Scum. Sorry, I said Flatzoid. Obviously, I meant this piece of crap.
I insult women because I have a tiny micro penis.
Yes, you do. And before we go, we need to say hello to, well, actually, no, not before we go. A couple more things to cover off. So nobody leave yet. You've not been excused and the bell hasn't rung. How can dare you? Don't forget about this, the fundraiser from Jeranism for Austin Thompson, aka Melodame, aka super nice guy, raising money to get him a hydrogen alpha telescope so he can do more sun observations and help all of us flip a flatty, which will be great. So get over there and help out with that if you can. I will be doing so. I hope you will too. It would be fantastic. This week is my quiet week. It's my week with the lady. I'll be out on Tuesday night going to see one of my favorite blues players, Gary Clark Jr. live here in Adelaide. I can't wait for that. Going to another gig on Thursday night, which involves the Fiddle Chicks, who are great. Not as dirty as it sounds. And Soursop Bob is going to be there. That's going to be sick. So I'll be checking that out. And otherwise just, generally chilling and having a good time. And we'll be back in action probably next or this coming Friday evening, my time. We've got a thread in the Discord so you can do the time conversions and everything else for that. So you can check it out and whatever else. And I'll probably schedule that Friday stream sooner rather than later. No idea what we're doing, but we'll figure it out. And if we're lucky by then, Ratzoid could be under 5,000 subs. So you don't want to miss the celebrations going on around that. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks to the legends, Where's Wally and Dave McKeegan, for swinging by and hanging out with us, and all of you Debunkers, all of you Zoo Crew. You are the greatest people on the internet. You're all amazing, and you make this a shit ton more enjoyable for myself, for Dan, or Fornicated, the Junk Bunk Show, Mike, and everybody around the traps. It's been awesome. Also, get on over to MC Toon's channel. You can see me ruin another one of his streams for the Council of Awesome. Myself, Mike, and Mike, or myself, Drunk Bunk Show, and MC Toon, deciding the suitable repercussions for Ratzoid and his circle jerk and jerk offs. It was great. Lily's just let one rip and it's disgusting. I've been gassed out. Oh my God, Lily. But you didn't have that on your bingo cards. Holy shit. That was nuclear. Anyway, if it's time for you to go to bed, please go and get some sleep and have a lovely snooze and very sweet dreams. I'll be there shortly to read your story and tuck you in. If you're just starting your day, I hope it is amazing and epic and absolutely glorious. I'm going to go feed a tiny fart-fueled little dog so I stop getting punished. And then I'm going to take her for a walk, grab my telescope, and have a look at the moon because it's looking awesome out there. Until next time, I shall see you next time. Be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught. And of course, love you. Bye.
I woke up feeling fine, had my coffee and toast, checked a flat earth debate, thought I'd roast me a ghost. But 5 minutes in, man, my brain took a dive, started doubting gravity, am I even alive? Oh Lord, I'm feeling fluffy, logic slipping away. Every fact that I once knew just won't seem to stay. I know the earth is round, but my head's full of doubt. Flat earth's like a virus trying to take me out. They said water finds its level. I said, yeah, but a sphere. Then I questioned my own words. What am I doing here? NASA lies, they keep screaming. It's a worldwide hoax. Now I'm Googling moon landings. Try those even real, folks? Oh Lord, I'm feeling flirty. Need to reset my brain before I start saying planes don't dip and denying the rain. I know the earth is round, but my logic's on trial. Been trapped in this live stream for far too long a while. Now my IQ's dropping, my senses are numb. Can't tell if I'm breathing or just playing dumb. I need some science, a rescue call, before I start screaming, the globe is a ball. I shut down the stream, took a deep, deep breath, rewatched some Einstein to escape from this mess. But late at night, man, I swear it's a curse. I still hear Black Swan, and it's making me worse. Oh Lord, I'm feeling flirty, need a break from this ride. Flat Earth's a sickness, and it's spreading worldwide. I know the earth is round, I swear that it's true. But debate these fools too long, and you'll start doubting it too. Ooh, I need a drink. Somebody please send me a peer-reviewed paper. I'm slipping, man. I'm feeling flirty.
I told you looks don't matter to me. The most important thing for love is personality. We had a deep connection intellectually. I was pumped for our first date. Got there early, I couldn't wait. But you didn't prepare me for the fact my Tinder date was fat.